Chapter 1702. Don't. It's too inconvenient for you to go out right now. The later you get, the more worried we'll be. How about this? There might be a lot of people at the 1-month party, so it'll be hard for you to come out. After I'm done with my confinement, we'll drive to the Su family to find you. How can I do that? Huamin felt a little guilty. You don't have to be so polite with me. We just want to protect you. It's a deal. Okay, get some rest then. After hanging up, Huamin had another sleepless night. The next morning, when she went downstairs for breakfast, she saw Suyu coming home. You're so early today. Yeah, I heard that fruits taste really good in the morning. I just went to the vineyard and picked some rose grapes for you. Wei Liao said that Jiang Xiaowei ate them all the time when she was pregnant, and it's really good. His baby's eyes are really beautiful. You should eat some too, haha. Haha, okay. Huamin thought that Suyu was really funny sometimes. He would think of all sorts of weird things. At breakfast, only Mrs. Su, Huamin, and Suyu were there. Mrs. Su, Xiaowei gave birth last night. Huamin chatted casually. Wei Liao's wife, right? Mrs. Su smiled gently. Huamin nodded. Wei Liao's wife is Huamin's best friend. It was a coincidence that they met. They're a match made in heaven. Suyu interjected. Oh, that's great. Is it a boy or a girl? A boy, 6 kilograms, Huamin and Suyu said at the same time. It was really amazing. After they finished speaking, they were slightly surprised. They looked at each other and smiled. The Wei family is really happy this time. It seems like the 1-month party is coming soon. We all have to go. I'm the child's godfather. Not only do I have to go, but I also have to give him a big gift. Otherwise, old Wei won't let me off the hook. Have you thought about what to give it to? Huamin looked at Suyu while eating the porridge. Back then, I said that if it was a girl, I would give her diamonds as her dowry. Now that it's a boy, I'm going to give him a fucking Lamborghini. Huh, then you're going to have to spend a lot of money, but it's nothing to you. Huamin chuckled. At this moment, Suyu bit her lower lip and looked at Huamin hesitantly. Then, he said slowly, when your twins are born, I'll send them as well. If they're girls, I'll send them a cruise ship, so that when they walk, they can sit on the ship and ride the waves. In the future, they won't have to be afraid of the difficulties and hardships in life. That won't do. It's too valuable. Huamin refused immediately. What's valuable about it? He has plenty of money. Let him do it. Mother Su interrupted. Huh, Mom, my your son? This has nothing to do with being my son. It's your fault for being rich. After speaking, Mother Su rolled her eyes at Suyu. Suyu was speechless. Huamin snickered. Suyu continued. If it's a boy, I'll give him a private jet. When he can walk, he can fly in the blue sky. He'll be as strong as an eagle. He'll fight everywhere. That sounds like a good idea. It's settled then, Mother Su said before Huamin could refuse. Time always flew by so quickly. When Huamin was 7 months pregnant, Jiang Xiaowei's baby was 1 month old. The party was set to be held in 3 days, but Huamin couldn't attend. So, Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei drove to the Su family's house. Mother Su bought a lot of delicious food for the couple. Tang Chuan also came. Lord Su and Mr. Su weren't home, so Suyu played host to everyone. Huamin's 7-month-old body was a little heavy. He walked very slowly and carefully. Suyu wanted to go up and help him. Everyone saw how nervous he was for Huamin. Huamin sat on the sofa and held the baby in his arms. Hi, baby, do you know me? I'm your auntie, Auntie Mian. Huamin played with the baby. Chapter 1703. Son, did you see that? This is your auntie with the highest IQ. She's a genius who's even smarter than your mom. Wei Liao joked. Not anymore. She's a lot dumber now that she's pregnant. Huamin chuckled. Jiang Xiaowei immediately said, Me too. I don't know what's wrong with me. I didn't even get anesthesia during the natural birth. Why do I feel like my teacher is going east and west? My memory is deteriorating. If this goes on, the Bureau won't let me go back to work. I'll have to bribe Captain Gao that day. Hey, by the way, why aren't Gao Ran and Tang Ling here? Today, Gao Ran finally got his New Year's break, so he went to bet with Ling Ling. Huamin chuckled. Yeah, she sent me a WeChat message. She said she'll be back tomorrow night for the baby's 1-month birthday party, Jiang Xiaowei said. Have you named a baby? Yes, just slightly, Wei Liao replied. What's his name? Suyu leaned over and asked curiously. Wei Yinshu, Jiang Xiaowei said word by word. Wei Yinshu, that's a weird name. What does it mean? Suyu was puzzled. Before Jiang Xiaowei could answer, Huamin held the baby and gently rocked him, coaxing him. He said softly, once in Gaocheng, 10,000 miles of sorrow. Reeds and willows like Tingzhou. Clouds rise above the stream. The sun sinks in the pavilion. Winds sweep the tower before the coming storm. That's a good name. Little Yinshu will be amazing in the future. Huamin explained Jiang Xiaowei's son's name in a Tang poem. Jiang Xiaowei immediately gave him a thumbs up. In this life, I won't bow down to anyone but you. How did you even know this? That's amazing. Indeed, when I was in university, I really liked Tang poems and did a lot of research. Among them, I especially like this poem by Su Han, the east building of Xianyang City, especially the two lines in the middle. The clouds have just risen. The sun has sunk into the pavilion. The wind has filled the tower before the storm. So when I saw the baby, I suddenly thought of the name Wei Yinshu. Huamin smiled and didn't say anything. He seemed to understand Jiang Xiaowei's state of mind. What are they talking about? I don't understand. Tang Chuan, who hated studying, didn't know what they were talking about. Normal people like us don't need to understand the conversation between geniuses. Just listen. Wei Liao smiled. All right, I suddenly thought of something. Where's my son's present? Wei Liao turned around and looked at Suyu. Suyu took out a key from his pocket and placed it on the table. Fuck. Lamborghini. Lord Su spent a lot on it. Tang Chuan stomped his feet. Don't worry, when you have a son, I'll give you one too. Suyu looked at Tang Chuan quietly and said, I knew Lord Su was always rich. He doesn't lack money. Tang Chuan said flatteringly. Then, Suyu's next sentence made everyone dumbfounded. When my son is born, you too can return a gift. You don't have to give me a lot, just a Bugatti each. Tang Chuan, fuck. Wei Liao, fuck. A Lamborghini worth over 3 million yuan and a Bugatti worth over 20 million yuan. Lord Su, you're too calculative. Wei Liao laughed. You see, all businessmen are cunning. Let's stop chatting and eat. I'll hold the baby. You guys eat first. Mrs. Su walked over. Auntie Su, it's okay. I'll do it myself. Jiang Xiaowei was a little embarrassed. No, I love kids. It's rare to see a baby this big. I'll hold him, you guys eat. Then, Mrs. Su lovingly picked up Wei Liao's baby and walked around the living room. Her eyes were full of love. Tang Chuan looked at Mrs. Su holding the baby and suddenly said, when Lord Su has a child, the Su family will celebrate. So, Lord Su, when are you going to get married and have kids? Don't make Auntie Su wait too long. After he said that, he noticed a subtle change in everyone's expression. Chapter 1704. Suyu immediately rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. What nonsense are you talking about? Why would I get married? I'm more likely to faint. I'm just imagining a beautiful future for you. Tang Chuan smiled cheekily. Do I need your imagination? Do you think I'm an idiot? Get the fuck back to the table and find your seat to eat. Suyu kicked Tang Chuan's butt jokingly. Then, everyone looked at Suyu and understood his awkwardness. Then, they looked at Huamin and also felt uncomfortable. The smart Jiang Xiaowei immediately changed the topic. She pulled Huamin's hand and said, Mian, don't you think my son is too unlucky? He was born on the tail of a Leo. Seriously, go ahead and be happy, sis-in-law. Your young master almost became a Virgo. Tang Chuan interrupted again. There's nothing wrong with being a Virgo. Don't insult my virginity. Huamin pursed her lips and laughed. Then, Huamin looked at Jiang Xiaowei and smiled slightly. There's nothing wrong with being a Leo. It's such a gorgeous constellation. Come on. Leo is the most domineering of the 12 constellations. Normal people can't handle it. No, I think it's pretty good, especially for boys. The older they get, the more radiant they'll be. They'll be like leaders. They're just little lions. Although they're domineering, they're super passionate and cute. I hope so. Jiang Xiaowei didn't say anything else. She pulled Huamin to the dining table and sat down. It had been a long time since they had a quiet meal together. Mrs. Su prepared a lot of delicious food, and everyone ate to their heart's content. Because it was a natural birth, Jiang Shaowei's figure recovered very well. After they finished eating and left, Huamin was a little tired. Seeing her tired, Suyu immediately said, "I'll take you upstairs for a nap." "All right." Huamin walked in front, while Suyu silently followed behind him. He was very focused, afraid that Huamin would have any mishap. After returning to the room, seeing that Suyu was about to leave, Huamin immediately shouted, "Suyu, I want to pray to Buddha, worship Buddha." Suyu was stunned. "Yeah, the temple that Qin Shu and I went to before is quite far from here. But I really like it and want to go there again. But with your current physical condition, are you sure you can still go up the mountain to worship Buddha?" Suyu looked at Huamin's delicate face worriedly. "I can walk slowly. I'll be fine. Trust me, Suyu, I know my physical condition. I'm not that weak. I'm also a doctor. I know what I'm doing," Huamin said confidently. Suyu still didn't say anything. He lowered his head and thought about how to make sure nothing went wrong. "Are you worried they'll be targeted like last time when I went to see Rick?" Huamin asked when Suyu didn't say anything. "Yes, I can't take any more risks. I won't let anything happen to you." Suyu raised his head and looked at Huamin seriously. "Don't worry. After you lured him away last time, Huasiqian is a very suspicious person. He won't do anything so easily. Even if he finds out that we're going to pray to Buddha, he might think that you're using the same trick again, so he won't fall for it. As for Song Yishi's father, he probably won't do anything either. I know Huasiqian better, so I believe your analysis. But as for Song Qinghua, how do you know that he won't do anything again?" Suyu questioned Huamin's words. Chapter 17:05. I've been paying attention to the news these past few days. Song Qinghua's frequency of leaving the country has decreased by 1/3 compared to before. This isn't normal. Even if he occasionally shows up on camera, he's always in a hurry. I'm guessing that he's in some kind of trouble. He also went to Lingling's wedding, but he didn't do anything. First of all, he didn't dare to do anything in front of so many people. Second of all, he probably can't even protect himself, so he doesn't have time to deal with me. Also, you have to know that the last time something happened to me, it was in the middle of the night. Back then, there were very few people. Now that we're traveling in the daytime, there are cameras and highways everywhere. I don't think a mayor like him would have the guts to do something like that. What do you think?" After Huamin finished speaking, he looked at Suyu confidently. "Your analysis does make sense, but it's just your guess," Lin Fan said. Suyu still didn't want Huamin to go out. "Suyu, I'm begging you." Huamin's voice was very soft, and his eyes were pleading. Suyu couldn't resist Huamin at all. As soon as he saw the look in Huamin's eyes, he would immediately give in. "You don't have to beg me. I don't want you to go out. I'm just worried about your safety. But if you want, I'll definitely go with you. Thank you." Huamin smiled slightly. "All right, don't tell Annie Sue and the others. I don't want them to worry." Huamin repeatedly reminded him. "I know. When do you plan to go?" "Tomorrow morning, a little earlier. We'll leave at dawn. Is that okay?" "Sure. I'll come pick you up tomorrow morning." After Suyu finished speaking, he turned around and went downstairs. Huamin placed his hand on his belly and gently stroked it. "Be good, babies. Come with Mommy to the temple tomorrow and see the wishes your daddy wrote down, okay?" Huamin's gaze drifted into the distance. The last time she went with Qin Shu, it felt like it was just yesterday. Everything was still vivid in her mind. She left with 3 wishes, kowtowing every 3 steps. Qin Shu was an atheist, but in order to accompany her, he kowtowed every 3 steps. With incomparable sincerity, the couple climbed to the top of the mountain and wrote down their wishes. Then, they tied it to the wishing tree with a blessing ribbon. At that time, Huamin didn't read what Qin Shu wrote. He just felt that one day, his wish would come true. The couple would return together to fulfill their vows. Then, they would see. But now, there was no news of Qin Shu, and his return was far away. Spring left, and summer came. The babies were about to be born, but there was still no news of him. Huamin was in despair. She didn't know what to do. When people were in a desperate situation and didn't know what to do, they would pin their hopes on the gods. The last time Huamin went to ask for a child, he already had a child. His wish had been fulfilled. This time, she was going to beg Bodhisattva to return her Qin Shu to her. She didn't want anything, not even the child. Even if she had to sacrifice anything, even her own life, she wanted Qin Shu to come back. Huamin couldn't sleep that night. She took out the diary from the drawer, took out a pen, and slowly wrote, "This is the 6th month and 5th day of my pregnancy. The babies are moving more frequently. There are movements on both sides of the bed. I can tell that the babies are very lively and active. Mr. Qin, if you're home, you must tell me to be patient. There are only a few more months until we can unload." I also gave them prenatal education. Originally, I was listening to the piano music from Hayao Miyazaki's manga, but for some reason, it turned into those years. Then, my thoughts returned to the time when I was young with you at second high, those innocent days of youth. So, when will you come back? The babies and I are waiting for you. By the time she wrote this, Huamin's tears had completely soaked the diary. Chapter 1706. After she got pregnant, she wasn't as strong as before. She was very emotional and liked to cry. She didn't know if it was because she was too weak or because she was a mother and her heart was too fragile. In the end, Huamin cried quietly for a long time before carefully putting away the diary. She wanted to record everything that happened during her pregnancy. If Mr. Qin came back one day, she would show it to him. He would read it page by page. She wanted him to feel how she and the babies lived without him. 5 a.m. in the morning. The sky had just turned bright. Su Yu came back early with a sumptuous breakfast. Auntie Yu and Mrs. Su were still asleep. After Huamin and Su Yu finished their breakfast, they quietly left the house. Although they were going out quietly, Su Yu was fully prepared. There were a total of 3 cars. There were powerful bodyguards protecting the front and back. Huamin and Su Yu sat in the black Hummer in the middle. The 3 cars drove off on the highway at the same time. When Huasiqian received the news, it was already 8 a.m. He arrived at the company and was about to go to the whole corporation's morning meeting. Then he saw his subordinate rushing in with a report. "Boss, there's news about Miss Hua." "Speak." Huasiqian's face darkened. Last time, he was played by Su Yu and was very unhappy. He had been suppressing his anger. At 6 a.m. this morning, Su Yu left the city with a lot of people. "I don't know where they're going." Missa was also in the car. "Did you see it clearly?" Huasiqian asked. It was too far away. Su Yu's people are too smart, so we didn't dare to get close. We only saw it through binoculars and took some photos secretly, but we're sure that it was a thin woman because she was wearing black sportswear, a black baseball cap, and sunglasses. "Idiot. Last time, you said the same thing and said it was Mion. What happened in the end?" Huasiqian no longer trusted his subordinate's information. "But boss, I think this time it's really, I don't want you to think it's... I want accurate information. I can't be played by Su Yu again. We can't take the risk. If Su Yu lured us away again, we'll be in trouble. We'll be exposed. You know that kidnapping Commander Su's grandson isn't a small crime." "Boss is right. We didn't think it through." Huasiqian's subordinate. "After all, how are things with Song Qinghua?" "It's going well. I'm just waiting for you to say the word." Huasiqian, Huamian, Huazizizis, what? TSSSS, TTS. To Huasiqian, no matter how beautiful the world was, it could not compare to Huamin's faint smile. Unfortunately, his way of doing things was too cruel and merciless, which always ran counter to Huamin's natural kindness. Huamin's analysis was right. Huasiqian was scared. It wasn't that he was afraid of Su Yu's strength, but he was afraid that he would be played by Su Yu again. He had actually missed a good opportunity to make his move. However, Su Yu was no ordinary person. He would never bring Huamin out unless he was fully prepared. Even if Huasiqian really did bring people here, it would not be that easy to kidnap them. They arrived safely at the location of the sighting. Before getting out of the car, Su Yu looked at Huamin with admiration. "It seems that you guessed right. They really didn't do anything." Huamin smiled faintly. "Let's go up." Huamin couldn't wait any longer. He wondered what Qin Shu's blessing belt would say. that seemed to be the most attractive thing Qin Chu had left for her. Chapter 1707. Don't tell me you're going to kowtow every 3 steps this time. Suyu looked at the tall stairs and looked at Huamin worriedly. Huamin burst out laughing. What are you laughing at? Suyu was confused. I'm laughing at you. Why do you keep asking such childish questions? The stairs are so tall, and I'm about to give birth. Why would I kowtow every 3 steps? Wouldn't that kill me and the babies? That might not be the case. You know you're a weirdo, and you're always different from ordinary people. That won't happen. I know what's important. Then Huamin turned around, carefully looked down at the stairs, and walked up step by step. Suyu immediately followed behind her. It was as if he was afraid that something would happen to her. Huamin's stamina wasn't as good as before, so she couldn't go up in one go. She could only take breaks. Finally, an hour and a half had passed by the time she reached the temple at the top of the mountain. Here, drink some water. Suyu handed her a thermos flask. It was filled with warm water from home. Ever since Huamin moved into the Su family's house, Suyu didn't allow her to drink mineral water. The reason was that it contained too many minerals. Therefore, she had been using the water purifier that the Su family custom-made overseas. Huamin took the flask and drank 2 big gulps. Then, she looked down the mountain from the top of the mountain. Is it the same as when you came here last time? Suyu asked casually. It's the same. It's not that different. Huamin actually wanted to say that the people around her were different. However, she wouldn't say it so bluntly. Although she didn't like Suyu, she didn't want to hurt Suyu's feelings by saying things like that. The longer she stayed, the more she realized that Suyu is full of good points. Huamin didn't think that the rumors about Suyu being a money-burning, hot-tempered, and domineering prince weren't right at all. In Huamin's eyes, Suyu was already the most considerate man in the world. He always warmed Huamin's heart when she needed help the most. The most tragic thing was that she had never loved him. Many times, Huamin asked himself if he would have fallen in love with Suyu if he hadn't met Qin Chu first. The answer was that there were no ifs in life, only consequences and results. Therefore, Huamin didn't want to make any assumptions. Huamin and Suyu entered the temple. At this time of the day, the weather was pleasant. Even if it was not a Buddhist festival, the fragrance was still at its peak. Suyu's bodyguards were not far behind them. Huamian wore a white cotton dress with a thin shawl draped over her shoulders. Suyu was still wearing a white Versace short-sleeve shirt and a pair of coffee-colored casual pants. The two of them were a good-looking couple. Many people who didn't know better would have thought that they were a couple. Some nosy old men and women even walked over and asked curiously, "Young man, how far along is your wife?" Suyu's cheeks immediately turned slightly red. He was too embarrassed to answer. Huamin, on the other hand, was very calm. She's been pregnant for more than 6 months. So big, you're about to give birth. You have to take care of your body. Don't overwork yourself. It's easy for you to give birth prematurely, a kind old woman advised. Thank you, Annie. Huamin smiled faintly. Look at her belly. The babies must be very big. It's going to take a lot of effort to give birth. Miss, you should eat less and control your weight, the old woman kindly advised. Auntie, she's pregnant with twins. That's why her belly is so big. So you couldn't help but laugh. Chapter 1708. Whoa, twins, your wife is amazing. You have to treat her better in the future. A woman's life isn't easy. What's that saying again? A woman is a princess for a day, a queen for 10 months, and a maid for the rest of her life. She's only a princess on her wedding day, and a queen for 10 months. Once the child is born, oh my, not only will her figure be out of shape, but she'll also have to spend a lot of energy taking care of the child. The Annie chattered on and on. Huamin smiled and added, Annie, you're right. A child is a parent's eternal bond. Give your love to your child for the rest of your life. Just to be able to call you mom and dad. Huamin used a lyric from Where Is Time Gone? After chatting with the Annie for a while, Suyu helped Huamin inside. They walked to the wishing tree. Huamin raised his head and looked at the blessings on the tree. Which one are you looking for? Did you write it yourself? Suyu asked. No, I'm looking for Qin Chu, Huamin said calmly. Got it, I'll help you. Then, without another word, Suyu immediately walked over and started searching from the bottom. Then, he stood on the roots and tiptoed to look at the top. After searching for more than 20 minutes, she finally found Qin Shu's prayer ribbon among the thousands of prayer ribbons. Qin Shu's name was written on it. Qin Shu's handwriting was very beautiful. Suyu carefully took it down and didn't even have time to look at it. Then, he handed it to Huamin. Huamin couldn't wait to open it and look at Qin Shu's familiar handwriting. In an instant, his heart was filled with gratitude because the blessing ribbon wasn't big. There was limited space. Qin Shu deliberately reduced the size of the words and wrote 3 wishes on it. After Huamin saw Qin Shu's words, he broke down. She couldn't stop her tears, and they started to fall down her cheeks. Suyu, who was watching from the side, started to panic. Huamin, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Suyu walked over and asked. Huamin didn't say anything, but his eyes were filled with tears. Suyu couldn't help but grab the prayer ribbon from Huamin's hand. When he saw Qin Shu's 3 wishes, he was stunned, because that was what was written on it. Qin Shu and Huamin together forever. Qin Shu and Huamin together forever. Qin Shu and Huamin together forever. So, Qin Shu's 3 wishes were all related to Huamin. They were all to be with Huamin forever, but now, they didn't even know if Qin Shu was alive or dead. A few months had passed, and there was no news at all. How could Huamin not feel despair when his body couldn't be found? Suyu held the blessing ribbon and was thinking about how to comfort Huamin, who was about to break down. Suddenly, he saw her turn around and run. Huamin, where are you going? Come back. Suyu was scared out of his wits. He realized that things were bad and immediately chased after her. Although Huamin's body was clumsy, he was familiar with the terrain, so he ran quite fast. After running for a few dozen steps, he suddenly stopped at a place. Then Huamin slowly approached. Suyu looked at him, and instantly his face turned pale. Huamin was standing on the edge of a cliff. There were no protective railings below. Was a cliff that was hundreds of meters high. Anyone who fell down would be smashed to pieces. Suyu saw that Huamin was very emotional as he slowly approached the edge of the cliff. Suyu was scared out of his wits. Huamin, what are you doing? Suyu roared angrily. Chapter 1709. Suyu, I want to be with Qin Shu forever. Huamin turned around with red eyes and looked at Suyu. He said each word in a hoarse voice. Ridiculous. You don't have to jump off a cliff to be with him forever. Do you want to die? Besides, didn't you say that not hearing from Qin Shu was good news? He'll come back. Huamin, don't do anything stupid. Qin Shu won't come back. If he's not dead, he would have come back to find me a long time ago. It's not like I haven't heard from him for months. Suyu, I don't want to lie to myself anymore. I'm so tired. I'm not happy at all. I want to find Qin Shu. Mian, even if you don't want to think about yourself, you have to think about the babies in your belly. They're so pitiful. They haven't even been born yet. Are you so heartless as to not give them a chance to be born? Huamin cried and shook his head. I want to take my babies and meet Qin Shu in the afterlife. Then, our family will be together forever. What if Qin Shu isn't dead? Wouldn't you have jumped off a cliff for nothing? Then, how would Qin Shu bear the pain of losing you? Huamin, calm down. You're so smart. You can see the situation clearly. Don't be rash. Suyu regretted bringing Huamin here. If he knew this would happen, he would have rejected him directly. Even if Huamin was unhappy, at least his life wouldn't be in danger. Right now, Huamin wanted to die. Driven by Qin Shu's 3 wishes, Huamin was ready to kill himself. Suyu, I've been through too much. I think I can't hold on anymore. Let me go. I'll repay your kindness in my next life. After saying that, Huamin jumped. Suyu's eyes were sharp and his hands were quick. He immediately flew over and grabbed Huamin's leg. Then, he was dragged down by Huamin's inertia, young master. The bodyguards of the Su family all called him young master Suyu. When they saw Suyu being dragged down by Huamin, their hearts almost jumped out of their chests. The pilgrims who came to worship the Buddha also screamed in fright. Oh my God, someone fell down. Quick, call the police and an ambulance. Sounds of disturbance could be heard from the crowd. This was the scene that Suyu's bodyguards saw when they rushed over. Suyu held Huamin tightly in his arms, while his other hand grabbed a tree trunk that was not very thick. Fortunately, his arm strength was very strong. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to hold on. "What are you looking at? Hurry up and pull me up," Suyu yelled. The bodyguards immediately took out ropes and threw them down, pulling Suyu and Huamin up. Perhaps he was overstimulated. The moment Huamin jumped down, he blacked out, outside the VIP emergency room of the military hospital. When Mrs. Su heard the commotion, she immediately rushed over from home. "How is she? How's Mion?" "I don't know yet. She's still in the emergency room." Suyu held his head in frustration, blaming himself for everything. If something happened to Huamin, what would he do? How could he forgive himself? Mrs. Su angrily punched Suyu's shoulder. "Are you stupid? She's already a few months pregnant, and you still let her climb a mountain? You even brought her up the mountain. What if she loses the baby? Poor Mion. It's all my fault. If I knew this would happen, I would have stopped you." Mrs. Su began to cry quietly at the thought of Huamin and the baby being in danger. After taking care of Huamin for so long, they were very close. She had always treated him like family. She didn't even dare to think about what would happen if something happened. Just then, the lights in the emergency room went off. The attending doctor walked out with a mask on his face. "How is it? Doctor, how is she?" Suyu immediately rushed up and grabbed the doctor's sleeve. He looked nervous, and his heart was in his throat. Chapter 17:10. Both mother and child are fine. The baby is fine. She's just in shock and needs to rest. Upon hearing the doctor's words, Mrs. Su and Suyu immediately let out a sigh of relief. But young Master Su, Miss Wa's condition is a bit special. I hope you can come to my office with me. Okay. Suyu nodded. Mom, you go in and take care of Huamin. I'll be back in a bit. Okay. Mrs. Su nodded and followed the nurse to push Huamin from the ER to the hospital room. Suyu followed the attending doctor to her office. The female obstetrician had a serious look on her face. Is there something else wrong with her? Suyu felt that the doctor didn't tell him everything. He was afraid that Huamin was in danger. Miss Wa is out of danger for now. The baby is fine. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk to you about Miss Wa's mental illness. Mental illness? Suyu was slightly surprised. When we tested her data, we found that her emotions were very unstable. We suspect that she has a mental illness. What do you mean? Prenatal depression, the doctor said without hesitation. Suyu never thought that Huamin, an excellent doctor, would have such strange symptoms. The doctor thought that Suyu didn't understand, so she explained, prenatal depression is when a pregnant woman has unreasonable expectations of her husband or the environment around her due to physical or psychological changes. However, she doesn't achieve her goals, so she keeps suppressing her negative emotions. Eventually, the illness explodes. Today's patient must have been traumatized by something, right? That's why she tried to kill herself. Yeah, Suyu nodded, still regretting bringing Huamin to the temple. Prenatal depression is very scary and shouldn't be ignored. It has to be treated as seriously as depression. No matter how optimistic and cheerful the patient used to be, once she suffers from this illness, she'll become a different person. She might have the following symptoms: anxiety, loss of appetite, lack of sleep, guilt, insecurity, difficulty concentrating. In severe cases, she'll have negative emotions about everything and will think of the worst in everything. This will cause her to lose hope in life and eventually lead to suicide. So it's very serious. Then what should we do? Suyu panicked. When Huamin studied psychology, he was a famous psychiatrist at Southside. Now that the psychiatrist knew that she was sick, how could she treat her? We suggest conservative treatment because her current physical condition doesn't allow for it, so we can't use any stimulants. We think we should let her family and friends spend more time with her and talk to her more. Most importantly, the child's father, young Master Su, isn't Miss Wa's husband in the city? Why doesn't he visit her? The doctor didn't know about Huamin's condition, so he didn't know about Qin Chu's situation. Her husband is abroad. He can't come back for some reason. What's more important than your wife and child? What a pregnant woman needs most is company. I think that her husband's absence is the main cause of her prenatal depression. This kind of thing should be taken care of. Doctor, is there any other way? Sue was worried. Chapter 17:11. There's nothing we can do. We have to talk to her, spend more time with her, or distract her so that she won't think too much. She'll be due in 2 or 3 months, so it's best not to make any mistakes. Okay, I know what to do. When Suyu walked out of the doctor's office, his heart was heavy. He didn't know what prenatal depression was. After all, no one around him had it. However, Huamin had suicidal tendencies, which was very scary. Therefore, he called Jiang Xiaowei because Jiang Xiaowei was a well-known psychologist in China. Wei, is your wife at home? Put her on the phone. Suyu called the Wei family. Suyu briefly explained what happened to Jiang Xiaowei, and Jiang Xiaowei froze. Mian has prenatal depression, and Meichim, that's what the doctor said. It seems like we overlooked it. Mian is so smart and has high standards for herself. She's afraid that people will worry, so she never shows her negative emotions. If she suppresses them for a long time, it will inevitably lead to terrible consequences. It's like if we use mud to block the flow of water, the water will accumulate and eventually erupt into a flash flood. What should we do now? You're a psychologist. You should have a good idea, right? Suyu placed his last hope on Jiang Xiaowei. Jiang Xiaowei's heart also ached for Huamin. It's been hard on Mian. She went through so much during her pregnancy, and now Qin Shu is missing. She has to worry about protecting the baby. So she has to live in an unfamiliar environment and be separated from her family. If it were me, I would have gone crazy. Mian's mental fortitude is not bad. She's able to hold on until now. We thought too highly of her and thought that she was a god who wouldn't make mistakes. The truth is, she's just a 25-year-old girl. She's made of flesh and blood. She has emotions, and she has a temper. Suyu frowned slightly, and his heart also ached for Mian. For an ordinary 25-year-old girl, Huamin had indeed gone through too much. There were too many trials and tribulations, and too many misfortunes. But don't worry, Suyu. I'll think of a way. Mian can't take drugs now. We'll find another way. Okay, I'll do anything as long as I can help her. Suyu was also anxious. He wanted to pluck the stars from the sky to comfort Huamian. I think you should go to New Zealand and bring Huamian's mother back. Yeah, that's right. Suyu was immediately enlightened. Then Mian's right. Mian's Suze's. We'll take the rest one step at a time. Bring her some positive energy every day. Listen to more music and spread the news of the baby to her. I'll take the baby there when I'm free so that she can understand the greatness of being a mother and the magic of giving birth to a new life. Then, thank you, Xiaowei. Suyu is very grateful. You're being too polite. Go, but take care of Mian. We'll visit her at home tomorrow. Okay. After Huamin's pregnancy was stabilized at the hospital, she was discharged safely the next afternoon and returned to the Su family. She didn't eat much for dinner. Even Lord Su couldn't stand it anymore and reminded her, "Girl, you're eating too little. You have to eat more." Lord Su, I don't have much of an appetite. You guys eat. Do you want to play a game of chess? Lord Su wanted to make Huamin happy. Grandpa, I'm tired. Why don't you let me sleep? Why do you want to play chess? Old man, you really don't know how to read people's faces. Hey, you brat. How dare you talk to me like that? Lord Su glared at Suyu. Huamin stuck out her tongue and smiled, but it was obvious that her smile was very weak. After returning from the hospital, Huamin was a little depressed. She was worried all day and seemed to have lost interest in everything. Suyu knew that Qin Shu's 3 wishes were a huge blow to Huamin. He tried to coax her, but it didn't work. Just then, the doorbell rang. Suyu immediately stood up. I'll go open the door. I think we have guests. Everyone looked at the door curiously. When Yang Meirong appeared, Huamin stood up in surprise. Mom. Her voice trembled. Chapter 17:12. In the next second, Huamin ignored his cumbersome body and jogged over. He hugged Yang Meiyerong and began to cry. Yang Meiyerong also hugged Huamin with heartache. Mian, my child, it's been hard on you. Then they hugged each other and cried. When a person was at their weakest, they would feel much warmer if they had a mother's embrace to comfort them. Although Huamin knew that Yang Meiyerong wasn't her biological mother, Huamin still owed her a debt of gratitude. However, the kindness of raising her was greater than the heavens. She no longer had any qualms about whether she was her biological daughter. Instead, she truly treated her as family. Did you arrange this? Mrs. Su secretly asked Suyu. Suyu nodded. You're not bad. Mian's mother will be much better now that she's back. After the mother and daughter cried, Huamin held his mother's hand and walked over to introduce them. Mom, this is Lord Su, Mrs. Su, and my good friend Suyu. They're all very good to me. They saved my life. Before Yang Meiyerong returned to China, Jixin told her the truth without hiding anything. After Yang Meiyerong found out the truth, she couldn't wait to fly back to her daughter. After hearing Mian's introduction, Yang Meiyerong let go of her hand and bowed deeply to the Su family. Annie Yang, what are you doing? Suyu immediately walked over to help her up. We'll always remember the Su family's great kindness to our Mian. Thank you. Yang Meiyerong bowed deeply to express her gratitude. You don't have to do that. We treat Mian as our own family, and we all like her very much. Due to the special situation we're in, I hope you won't feel burdened. Just stay here and let Mian give birth safely. That's the most important thing, Grandpa Su said. Yeah, sis, I'm a little older than you, so I'll call you sister from now on. Mian is a very sensible child, and we all like her very much. You don't have to be so polite. Mrs. Su also walked over. Everyone chatted in the living room for a while. Yang Meiyerong then helped Huamin back to his room to rest. Although it was indeed inconvenient to be in other people's homes, for the sake of Huamin and the children's safety, everyone was accommodating and compromising. Yang Meiyerong's return put Huamin in a good mood. That night, she even posted something that she hadn't posted in a long time. Of course, in order to protect her whereabouts, she made a special setting so that only a few of her closest relatives could see it. She wrote a sentence. You can withstand the fire and smoke of war, but you can also meet the golden years. Then Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling, Jiang Xiaowei, Wei Liao, Su Yu, and the others all liked it. In private, Jiang Xiaowei created a group chat. Except for Huamin, everyone else was in it. Jiang Xiaowei. Lord Su, how's Mian's mood today? Auntie is back. Is she happy? Suyu, she's quite happy. Zhu Lingling. With Annie by her side, Mian will be much better. She'll give birth soon. Everyone, go and see her. Good luck. Jiang Xiaowei. Lingling, are you pregnant yet? Zhu Lingling, pfft. How can it be so fast? Children and parents need fate. Gao Ran. Honey, this sentence sounds familiar. I think I've heard it somewhere before. Zhu Lingling. These are Mian's words. I'm just using it, haha. Wei Liao. Anyway, now that Huamin is fine, we're relieved. I hope the babies come out soon, so we don't have to worry about them. Gao Ran. Lord Su, is there any movement from Huasiqian? Recently, Su Yu, there's some movement from Huasiqian, but it's not directed at us. I think he's going to have a fight with Song Qinghua. Gao Ran. They're going to have a fight? Aren't they good allies? Jiang Xiaowei. I think it's probably because of the attack on Huasiqian last time. Song Qinghua's vicious methods angered Huasiqian. After all, he always thinks he loves Mian. As they chatted, a news notification suddenly flashed on their phones. Zhu Lingling was the first to speak and immediately shouted in surprise. Wow, it's big news. Look, look. Chapter 17:13. After Zhu Lingling finished speaking, everyone quickly looked down at their phones. The headline of the news read, Suspected mistress of a high-ranking official exposed, wearing a $1 million watch and carrying a Hermes bag. Then, in the picture, there were two blurry figures. One of them was a young woman with waist-length hair. She wore a white dress and had a sexy figure. Because it was her back, her facial features couldn't be seen clearly. The man who had his arm around the woman's waist looked older, around 50 years old, and his hair was slightly white. His facial features couldn't be seen clearly either, but what made it worse was that not far behind them, an Audi A6 attracted everyone's attention. The license plate number of the car was CR0011. Everyone knew that 0011 was the mayor's personal car. So a single stone stirred up 1,000 ripples after the news came out. All the major forums exploded. Everyone was trying to guess who this high-ranking official was. Most of the public was saying that it was Mayor Song. If it was true, then he was in big trouble. After all, he was the mayor of a city. If there was a scandal about his mistress, then it would be interesting. Looks like Wasichian has made his move. I haven't had the chance yet. But that's good, I can add fuel to the fire. Suyu smiled and then made a call to one of his subordinates. That night, evidence of Mayor Song's shady dealings with some black-hearted businessmen was exposed. There was also evidence of the land expropriation in the suburbs 3 years ago. Because of this, the news became even more intense. His once high and mighty image had fallen by thousands of feet overnight. From that day onward, more than a month of news broke, knocking Mayor Song off his pedestal. He became an official who was plagued by negative rumors. He was about to fall from grace, and he was only one step away. In the blink of an eye, more than a month had passed. Huamin was 8 months and 8 days pregnant. That night, Suyu came home from work. Song Qinghua is about to be finished. You'll be able to get your revenge soon. Suyu comforted her. Huamin shook her head. Actually, I don't hate Song Qinghua. It's not because I'm a saint. It's because he thinks that I killed Song Yishur, and that's why he hates me so much. It's natural for a father to love his daughter. In order to save Qin Shu, I took the blame. It's normal for him to hate me. I can understand how he feels. That's why I'm not happy that something happened to him. I understand, but this time, I wasn't the one who started it. I just added fuel to the fire. It was Hua Xiqian's people. I'm not so evil as to drug Mayor Song, seduce him with a young model, and then take photos of him. Suyu slowly said, but it's true that he's done a lot of bad things over the years. He's definitely not as clean as the rumors say, Suyu added. Huamin smiled faintly. Of course. What era are we in now? Who will be clean? If he really was, he probably wouldn't be able to get to where he is now. Hungry. Mion's analysis is right. We commoners don't understand politics. Otherwise, your grandpa would have told your dad to run a business instead of being an official. Suyu's mother smiled as she peeled an orange and glanced at Suyu. Suyu reached out and was about to take the orange when Suyu's mother slapped it away. Get off me. Is this for you? It's for Huamin. Then, Suyu's mother handed the orange to Huamin with a smile. Thank you, Annie. Huamin smiled as she took the orange. Just as she was about to eat it, her expression changed. Then, her hand holding the orange froze. What's wrong, baby? Young Meirong could tell that Huamin wasn't feeling well, so she immediately got up and walked over. I think her water broke. Huamin's face was filled with panic. No way. She's not even full term yet. It's only been 8 months. Suyu was also confused. Hurry up and drive Mion to the hospital. Hurry. Suyu's mother was the first to react. She grabbed her son by the collar and dragged him out. Chapter 17:14. Suyu panicked as he sped to the hospital in his black Lamborghini. As he drove, he looked at Huamin and asked, Are you okay? Huamin's contractions were already in pain, and beads of sweat slowly rolled down her forehead. I'm okay. I'm fine, don't worry. You keep holding on. How can you say you're fine at a time like this? I really have to hand it to you. The calmer Huamin looked, the more Suyu's heart ached. Mrs. Su and Huamin's mother sat in the Audi Q7 driven by the Su family chauffeur and followed them to the hospital. Military hospital. The gynecologist examined Huamin and immediately said, The cervix is 3 fingers wide. Let's go to the delivery room. Suyu, I'm so scared. On the way to the delivery room, Huamin grabbed Suyu's hand for the first time. She held on to it tightly. She was really panicking. Suyu had known her for a long time, but this was the first time he saw such panic on her face. At this moment, Huamin's face was pale from the pain. Her forehead was covered in sweat, but she gritted her teeth and didn't make a sound. Compared to the pregnant women next door, Huamin was like a tough woman. Because those women were all screaming at the top of their lungs, everyone had different pain points. Huamin had always been an introverted person with a strong backbone, so she wouldn't complain about the pain easily. However, she was scared because she knew that giving birth naturally to twins could be dangerous. There had been cases of women bleeding to death during labor. Huamin was afraid that she wouldn't have a chance to come out. If something happened to her, don't be scared. Huamin, I'll wait for you here. I believe you'll be fine. Nothing can stop you. Huamin's breathing was weak. Perhaps it was because it was too painful, so his voice started to become softer. Suyu, listen to me. If I don't come out, I have a Swiss bank card in my wallet. It's in the first drawer of my bedroom. It's in my name. There's about 1 billion in it. Qin Chu left it to me. If I'm gone, you can take the money. Before Huamin could finish, Suyu went crazy. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Deal with your own bank card. If anything happens to you, I'll burn all your cards. Huamin was so angry at Suyu that he wanted to laugh. No matter what, nothing can happen to you. Huamin, you have to be strong. You have to work hard to make sure that the 2 babies and you are safe. You are the best doctor. I believe in you. When Suyu said this, he was about to cry. His eyes were wet. This iron-willed man was not afraid of anything, but he was afraid of Huamin's tears. Huamin was suffering like this, and his heart was about to break. At such a critical moment, he still said such scary words. It was as if he was leaving a will. How could Suyu take it? Then I'll try. After a while, Huamin said with difficulty. You can't try. You have to come out safely. I'll wait for you guys. Suyu held Huamin's hand tightly. At this time, they arrived at the door of the delivery room. Suyu was stopped by the doctor. Young Master Suyu, you can't go in. Wait here. The nurse comforted him. Suyu stopped in his tracks. He watched as Huamin's figure finally disappeared from the door of the delivery room. At that moment, his tears finally couldn't stop falling. How is it? Son, where's Mion? At this time, Mrs. Su and Huamin's mother rushed over. She's in the delivery room. Is she about to give birth? Mrs. Su also became nervous. Oh, what should we do? It's not even a month yet. Huamin's mother was also anxious. Chapter 17:15. Sis, don't worry. I heard that the fetus will be fully formed after 8 months. If it's premature, it's not a problem. At most, the child will stay in the incubator for a few days. Mian will be fine. Okay. Yang Meirong nodded, but she was still anxious. She took out her phone and walked to the other side of the corridor to call Jixin, who was far away in New Zealand. At this moment, Lord Su called Suyu. What's the situation with Mian? I just called home, and the nanny picked up. She said you guys went to the hospital. Yeah, Mian is premature. Premature? It's only been a few months? Grandpa Su was also shocked. 8 months and 8 days. She's already... Oh, that's about it. Has she given birth yet? Not yet. She just entered the delivery room. Okay, call me when she gives birth. That's all. I have a meeting now. Before Suyu could say anything, Lord Su hung up the phone. Suyu was also scratching his ears and cheeks anxiously. He had never experienced being with a child. He was so nervous that he could die. If he could replace Huamin, he would give birth for him. Several delivery rooms were connected, and heart-wrenching screams could be heard from the delivery rooms next to them. The pain was so painful that it made one feel pain just by listening to it. Suyu was so anxious that he paced around on the spot, but he didn't know what to do. Son, go buy 2 bottles of water. Your Auntie Yang and I are thirsty. Okay. After Suyu finished speaking, he left the delivery room and went downstairs to buy water. At the same time, in the Hua mansion, boss, there's news from the military. What news? Hua Xiqian was wearing a nightgown and reading a book called Willful Weakness. Missa was just sent to the military hospital. It seems like she's about to give birth. Upon hearing this, Hua Xiqian immediately put down the book in his hand and took off his gold-rimmed glasses. About to give birth? Isn't there still some time? I heard it's premature. Premature? Won't that be dangerous? Hua Xiqian was also flustered. He stood up with a whoosh. Initially, he did not want Huamin to give birth to the baby safely, but Suyu protected Huamin too well. Ever since Huamin went to live with the Su family, he basically had no chance to make a move. Later on, Huamin's pregnancy got bigger, so he couldn't do anything, because the moment he made a move, Huamin would also lose his life. He would not take that risk. Initially, he was waiting for Huamin to give birth and move out of the Su family. He was looking for an opportunity, but she didn't expect to give birth so soon. It was really an accident. Boss, I think this is a good opportunity. Because they left in a hurry, they're not fully prepared. If we send too many people, we might be able to snatch them away. Nonsense. She's already in the delivery room. What's the point of fighting? Do you know how to deliver a baby? Hua Xiqian's face darkened. That person immediately lowered his head, not daring to say another word. Get the car ready. I'm going to the hospital. You're going yourself? His subordinates were surprised. Yes, I'm going to see her. When Hua Xiqian heard that Huamin suddenly gave birth prematurely, he immediately panicked. If Huamin was in danger because of this, wouldn't he not be able to see her for the last time? The man who had always been as steady as Mount Tai and always had a plan, at this moment, was also panicking. Hua Xiqian changed his clothes and walked out. Just as he was about to get into the car, the Land Rover suddenly exploded. There was a deafening rumble. Luckily, he didn't get into the car, or else he would have been smashed into pieces then. His phone rang. He picked up the phone and heard a woman's arrogant voice say, "You better not take a single step out of the house today, or else you'll be separated from your family." Obviously, someone didn't want him to go to the hospital. Are you Luyan? Hua Xiqian asked, but the other party hung up without saying anything. On the other side, Huamin had been in the delivery room for more than 5 hours. At 1 a.m., the obstetrician came out, exhausted. "Did you give birth? Doctor? How's my daughter?" Yang Meiyerong walked up and asked. "Yes, don't worry. The mother and child are both fine and safe." Upon hearing this, Su Yu, Mrs. Su, Huamin, and Mian all let out a sigh of relief. "Doctor, did Mian give birth to twins? Are they boys or girls?" Mrs. Su asked excitedly. Chapter 17:16. They're twin girls. They look exactly the same and are extremely beautiful babies. They're girls, that's great. Mrs. Su had always liked girls, so she was overjoyed when she heard that the twins were girls. Yang Meiyerong was so excited that her hands trembled. "So, I'm going to be a grandmother? 2 little guys." Yang Meiyerong felt like her heart was about to melt. Su Yu was still frozen on the spot. He couldn't tell what he was feeling. His excitement was indescribable. It was as if Huamin was giving birth to his children. In fact, the gender of the child could be determined by an ultrasound at 4 months. Jiang Shaowei knew early on that she was going to give birth to a boy. Therefore, the Wei family started celebrating a long time ago. The 2 elders of the Wei family even prepared a lot of gifts for Jiang Shaowei. However, Huamin refused to know the gender of the fetus in advance because he wanted to keep it a little mysterious. He didn't want to know too early, otherwise, there wouldn't be any surprises. Huamin didn't care about the gender of the baby. It didn't matter if it was a boy or a girl. As long as her and Qin Chu's child was healthy and safe. Where are the babies? Su Yu came back to his senses after a while and immediately asked the doctor. The nurse has already sent them to the incubator. Because they're too light, they need to be observed in the incubator for a few days. The mother has exhausted too much energy, so she needs to rest in the hospital. All right, who's the immediate family? Can you sign the form for me? I am. Yang Meiyerong immediately followed the doctor to the office. Let's go and see Mian. Mrs. Su was in a good mood as she led Su Yu into the hospital room. On the way, Mrs. Su didn't forget to excitedly report the good news to Lord Su. Dad, Mian gave birth. It's a pair of girls. Okay, you'll see them when you come back. We'll hang up now. Mrs. Su happily hung up the phone. What did Grandpa say? Su Yu smiled. He can't wait to fly back. He kept saying that he wanted to prepare gifts for the babies. Grandpa is really excited. By the time Su Yu and her son walked into the room, Huamin had already regained consciousness, however, he looked very weak and pale. "Auntie Sue," Huamin said weakly. "Mian, you're the best. I can't believe you gave birth to twins naturally. Thank you so much. You're so considerate of your mother and didn't let you suffer too much, okay? You have a pair of beautiful daughters." Mrs. Sue held Huamin's hand and said gently. Huamin nodded weakly. "When I was in the delivery room, the nurse told me, they're very healthy. It's just that they're a little light. The two of them only weigh 7 pounds. They're not small. You have a pair, not just one. They'll be discharged in a few days in the incubator. Don't think about anything for the next few days. Just take care of your body. I hired a high-class confinement nanny for you. She'll take care of you and the babies during your confinement. If you want to eat anything, just tell me, okay? Thank you. Auntie, you're so good to me." Huamin looked at Mrs. Sue gratefully. "You're welcome. I treat you like a daughter. Your Lord Sue is so happy that he keeps asking to come back to see the babies." Just then, Mrs. Sue turned around and called out to Suyu. "Son, why are you still standing there? Come and see Mian." Chapter 17:17. Suyu slowly walked over and looked at Huamin with heartache. The first thing he asked was, "Does it still hurt?" Huamin smiled and shook her head. "It doesn't hurt anymore. It really hurt like hell just now. No wonder when I was an intern in the OB/GYN department, our head doctor always said that when a woman gives birth, the pain is like breaking a dozen ribs. I've always thought that I was a very tolerant person, but in that moment, I still felt like I was going to die from the pain. Silly girl, it's all in the past." Suyu comforted her. "Okay, I'll go check on the babies in a bit. You rest well." "Okay." Huamin smiled. It was obvious that her face was filled with the happiness of being a mother for the first time. Suyu walked to the door and suddenly turned around to look at Huamin with a gentle smile. "Actually, I've always secretly hoped that you could give birth to a pair of twin girls. That way, there would be 2 more little guys like you in this world. What a happy thing that would be." After speaking, Suyu turned around and left before Huamin could say anything. After a while, young Mayorong came back. Seeing her return, Mrs. Sue couldn't wait to say, "Sis, take care of Mian first. I'll go check on the babies too." "Okay, you guys go first." Young Mayorong took a towel, wet it with hot water, and patiently wiped Huamin's face. "Mian, you're finally free. It's great that you don't have to suffer anymore." Did you suffer as much when you gave birth to little brother?" "Jishin was fine, because it was my second child. When I gave birth to you, I did suffer a lot. At that time, it was so painful that I wanted to find a hole to hide in." Huamin's expression froze slightly. She didn't seem to have told her mother the truth yet. Therefore, her mother never knew that the first child she gave birth to wasn't Huamin. But this was fine too. Even if it was a white lie, he would leave it at that for the time being. Otherwise, with his mother's personality, if she knew the truth, she would be extremely upset. "Have you thought of a name for the little guy? We can take our time to think of a proper name, but a nickname has to be given. It's easy to raise." Yang Meirong said superstitiously. Huamin thought for a moment, then tilted his head and said, Let's call them Pudding and Little Bean." "Pudding? Little Bean?" Yang Meirong was stunned. "Yeah, she's a girl. The most important thing is that she's cute." "Okay, as long as you like it." Then, Yang Meirong took out her phone. "I called Jishin. Video chat with him." On the other side, Huamin was happily talking to Jishin in the hospital room. On the other side, Mrs. Sue and Suyu stood outside the incubator intensive care unit. She looked at the pair of chubby little guys through the glass window. "Do you see that? That pair over there, the ones wearing pink polka dots." Suyu's mother pointed at them in surprise. Suyu leaned over the glass window and looked, frowning slightly. "Mom, didn't the doctor say that they're really cute and pretty?" "Yeah, I didn't expect them to be super cute. They're a pair of cute little princesses. If only they were ours." Mrs. Sue greedily mumbled to herself, unable to suppress the excitement in her heart. "But why do they look like monkeys? They're so wrinkled, their eyes are so small, and they don't have much hair. Are they really pretty? What's wrong with the doctor's taste? Are they really Mion's babies? Did they get the wrong babies? Suyu was puzzled. Mrs. Su. Chapter 17:18. What do you know? Newborns are all like this. Their facial features can only be seen after they're a month old. When you were born, you weren't even as good as them. I thought I gave birth to an ugly monster. I was devastated because of it. Suyu and Mrs. Su looked at the babies for a long time, their eyes filled with love. Suyu, in particular, felt very strange. He really liked this pair of kids from the bottom of his heart. When he walked out of the incubator, he took out his phone and announced in the group chat, "Good news! Dr. Hua gave birth to twin beauties on October 23rd at 1:36 and 1:38 a.m. Both mother and daughter are safe." It was the wee hours of the morning, but Suyu's WeChat message caused an uproar in the group chat. Tang Chuan. Holy shit, what's going on? All I did was drink and sleep with her. How did Dr. Hui give birth to a baby? Gao Ran. I'm on the night shift. I was just about to doze off when I woke up. Huamin gave birth to daughters? Congrats. Wei Liao. Xiao Wei is breastfeeding my young master, so I'll take over for her. Congrats. Huamin, you've become a mother. Jiang Xiao Wei. Breastfeeding doesn't affect WeChat messaging. Haha. Mian gave birth to a girl. Then we can be in-laws. I have a daughter-in-law now, Tang Chuan. Sis-in-law. Are you sure you want to be in-laws with Huamin? Are you sure your Wei Yunshu can handle Huamin's genius babies? Wei Liao. We don't have to worry about that. Xiao Wei isn't a pushover either. I believe my young master can handle it. Zhu Lingling. Since Mian gave birth to two, then one for Xiao Wei and one for me. I want to be in-laws too. Gao Ran. Honey, let's stop fooling around, okay? The problem isn't whether or not we can be in-laws with Mian. The problem is that we have to find a son first. Tang Chuan. Huh, you have a point. And I Yang. Bro Suyu. How's my sister doing? Are you alright? Suyu. I'm fine. I'm just a little tired, so I'm already asleep. From tomorrow onwards, you can come and visit me one after another. And I Yang. That's great. I'll go think about what gifts to prepare for my nieces. Tang Chuan. Right. The gift is the key. Jiang Xiaowei. Do you have a name? Suyu. I haven't asked if Huamin has thought of a proper name. As for nicknames, I heard from Annie Yang that the eldest one is called Pudding and the second one is called Little Bean. Zhu Lingling. So talented. Ha ha. Pudding and Little Bean. Tang Chuan. Why can't it be fruit jelly? Wei Liao. You're just a foodie. I think you look like fruit jelly. Jiang Xiaowei. Their names are super cute. I'm looking forward to seeing what these cute twins look like. Suyu. Now that I look at them, they look like monkeys. Suyu's words made everyone faint. Tang Chuan. Ha ha. I'm going to screenshot it for Huamin. Who asked you to say that his daughters look like monkeys? Suyu, why don't you try it? See what the consequences are? Suyu threatened in a quiet manner on the outskirts of Seattle, United States. Because of the time difference, it was daytime here. Bro, the latest news came from China. My sister-in-law just gave birth. Already? So soon? Qin Shu's eyes were slightly surprised. It's a pair of twins. They gave birth naturally. Mian, you're so lucky. Twins. That's great. When they grow up, they'll be as kind and smart as their mother. Qin Shu's eyes were filled with endless gentleness. He slowly got up with the help of his black cane. So, when do you plan to go back? After your sister-in-law gives birth, she's at her weakest. If you don't go back now, what if she and Suyu? Qi Ning didn't finish her sentence, but her meaning was obvious. Chapter 17:19. I'll do my best and leave the rest to fate. After speaking, Qin Chu quietly turned around. Behind Qin Chu, Qi Ning's eyes glistened with tears. Ever since her brother's accident and return to the States, he seemed to have changed into a different person. His aura became even gloomier. He became more reserved and didn't like to talk. He often sat alone in his study and stared blankly into the distance. No one knew what was going on in his mind. Mr. Qin's condition temporarily stabilized. Later on, Qin Shu personally performed another surgery. He was recovering well. The Qin family never lacked money. Fewer and fewer people were looking for them, and some had already given up. Qin Ning's father, Qin Chu's uncle, had already returned to the headquarters in New York. Mr. Qin and Mama Qin had also gone to Hawaii to recuperate. Only Qin Chu was left. He was still in Seattle, living alone in his house. Qin Ning often came to visit him and brought him news about Huamin and the children. Qin Ning thought that after her sister-in-law gave birth, he would definitely go back. She had just heard him say that he would do his best and leave the rest to fate, but she felt that going back was a long way away. Qin Ning didn't know what he was thinking or planning. She just felt bad for her sister-in-law in China. She lived alone in someone else's house and had to wait for a long time to give birth to the twins. Big brother, should I prepare a gift for my nieces and send them back? Qin Ning yelled at Qin Chu, who was walking away. Qin Chu raised one hand and waved it, indicating that it wasn't necessary. Qin Ning bit her lips and began to feel angry. She didn't know how her sister-in-law could tolerate her brother's boring personality. It was so infuriating. Australia. On a white luxury cruise ship, a girl with long hair and wearing a green chiffon dress sat on the deck, enjoying the sea breeze and drinking red wine. Boss, your sister gave birth. Is it a boy or a girl? Lu Yin turned around in surprise. She knew that Huamin was about to give birth, so she specially arranged for a bomb to be placed on Hua Xiqian's car. Of course, the goal was not to kill him, and it would not be so easy to kill him. She only wanted to threaten him so that he wouldn't court death when her sister was giving birth. A pair of daughters. Wow, it's my niece. I'm finally an auntie, so... Boss, do we still need to prepare Swiss Army knives for the two children? He had heard the boss mention this before. Are you stupid? Such a young child. When will he be able to use a Swiss Army knife? No, I have to go to the auction house and see if there's anything good I can buy for the two of them. After all, this is their first time coming to a world with Annie. Then, Lu Yin put down the red wine in her hand and was about to get off the boat. Boss, there's one more thing. What is it? Lu Yin looked back coldly. Young Master Qiao. What's wrong with Psycho Qiao? Dead? Lu Yin blurted it out as a joke. He's not dead, but young Master Qiao's injuries are very serious. He's still in the emergency room. What? Lu Yin raised her voice. When young Master Qiao went to Japan for business, he was attacked by terrorists. Many of his men died. Young Master Qiao was also attacked by many assassins. Fortunately, he managed to break out of the encirclement, but he's seriously injured. Mr. Qiao just called and asked me to tell you that he wants you to go and see young Master Qiao. Why didn't you tell me earlier? What a piece of trash. Lu Yan's expression changed drastically. Chapter 17:20. Didn't you say before that no news can compare to the news from your sister? That's why I want to tell you about the twins before we talk about this. You're so stupid. Lu Yan didn't have time to think and immediately left on a cruise. On her way to Russia, Lu Yan contacted her father. Dad, do you know that Xiao Fei is injured? Yes. Old Xiao called me and said that the surgery was very difficult. There are 5 gunshot wounds on his body, and they're all in critical areas. It's very difficult to remove the bullets, so he asked if I could go over. Then what are you waiting for? Go over. You can't let Psycho Qiao die. Lu Yan sounded agitated. Lass, I can't go. Ian's men are behind Xiao Fei's injury. Their goal isn't to kill Xiao Fei, but to lure me out. I'm being watched by many people, and they're waiting for me to show up. As soon as I show up, I'll be caught by Ian. If I can't save Xiao Fei, I'll get myself killed. Then what should I do? I don't know medicine, and I'm not as smart as my sister. Your sister hasn't given birth to a mother yet? The old man suddenly remembered. She gave birth to twin girls. Really? Then I'm a grandfather. The old man's voice was filled with surprise. Dad, now's not the time to be happy. I'm on my way to Russia, but it's useless even if I go there. I'm not a good doctor, and I can't save him. Then let him die. You don't like him anyway. So why are you in such a hurry? The old man said deliberately. I just think that if Psycho Qiao dies, I won't have any enemies and my life will be boring. Yin, are you still not willing to admit that you like Xiao Fei? How is that possible? Why would I like that guy? Lu Yin denied it again. If that's the case, then fine. I don't have to tell you how to save him. Then the old man was about to hang up. Lu Yin reacted quickly and immediately yelled, "Don't hang up, old man. You said you have a way to save Xiao Fei? Yeah, but you don't like him, so it's useless to save him. Xiao Fei has been good to you all these years, but it's useless. There's no point in living, so it's better to just die. I. Actually, I don't hate him that much. He's a nice guy. Other than being too cold and arrogant, everything else about him is nice. If he didn't take me away last time, I would have been caught by Ian. So, you like Xiao Fei, right? Fuck. What kind of father would force his own daughter to know who she likes? Old man, don't you think it's heartless to do this? Xiao Yin, Xiao Fei doesn't have much time left. Are you sure you want to waste time with me? Yin, after 5 seconds of Lu Yin said in a low voice, Mister, I like Xiao Fei. Please don't let him die. After Lu's to Lu, Yin T-test to T to go to T-test right 8 to America. To America T, it's thousands of miles away. Lu Yin didn't understand. Go to America and find someone who can save Xiao Fei. He's a genius doctor like your sister who can save him. Chapter 17:21. After the old man said this, Lu Yin suddenly understood. Are you talking about Qin? But I haven't been able to find him. Dad, are you sure he's still in the U.S.? Are you sure he's still alive? If he hasn't been killed. Lu Yin was completely shocked. She had been investigating Qin Shu for a long time, but to no avail. How did her dad know he was in the U.S.? I'll send you an email. After you decipher it, you'll see the detailed address. Remember, be careful when you go. Don't get followed. Okay. Lu Yin nodded. Okay, go now. I'll contact you later. Then, the old man hung up. 1 minute later, Lu Yin received an email. It took him another 30 seconds to crack the old man's exclusive password. Change the flight route. We're going to Seattle now, Lu Yin said domineeringly. C-City, Hua Corporation headquarters. After the morning meeting, Hua Xiqian returned to his office with a question on his mind. That was, he really wanted to see Mion's daughters. The little guys who were born yesterday morning. Hua Xiqian looked at the calendar on his desk and smiled. They were born after midnight on the 23rd. They're a pair of little Scorpios. It seems like Mion's babies will be difficult to deal with in the future. President Hua is having lunch with President Li of Wanha at noon, and there's a real estate alliance meeting at the International Center in the afternoon. The secretary said quickly, Cancel it all. I'll go buy gifts later. I won't go to the meeting in the afternoon. Okay. The secretary was slightly surprised. Then, Hua Xiqian drove alone to the most luxurious luxury shopping mall in the city. Sir, what would you like to buy? I can show you around. The shop assistant was extremely enthusiastic. I want to buy gifts for my baby girls. Hua Xiqian smiled wickedly. In the military hospital, Huamin himself was in disbelief. Everything felt like it was the will of the heavens. Originally, he thought that the baby would definitely be a Libra, who knew that after midnight, it would be the morning of the 23rd. So she gave birth to 2 little Scorpios. Would he grow up to be as arrogant as Mr. Qin? Military hospitals Huamin woke up in the morning and said to his mother, Mom, I want to see the baby. Then I'll call the nurse to bring it over for you to take a look. Lie down first, don't worry. Young Meiron comforted. Huamin nodded. Not long after, 2 young nurses carefully walked in with 2 babies in their arms. Miss Hua, the baby is very beautiful. His eyes are beautiful, his eyelashes are long, and his hair is black. One of the nurses praised. Huamin carefully sat up and leaned against the bed. He took them one by one and examined them carefully. It was as if she could see Qin Shu's shadow in their faces. You guys still know who's the boss, right? Huamin asked with a smile. It's on the bracelet, but Miss Hua, you should give them names because the hospital needs to register them and get their birth certificates. You'll need their names in the future. Okay, let me think about it. Huamin held the boss in one arm and the second baby in the other. Looking at this, looking at that, in an instant, her heart was about to melt. Then she suddenly thought of Qin Shu. Finally, she looked up at the nurses and said, I've thought about it. What's his name? The two nurses asked impatiently. Chapter 17:22. Qin Zhao Zhao, Qin Mu Mu, Huamin said slowly. Zhao Zhao Mu Mu? That's a special name. One of the nurses said with a smile. It's so poetic. I remember there's a poem that goes, if love lasts forever, why stay together day and night? Wow. Miss Hua, are you missing the baby's father? Another nurse asked jokingly. Huamin smiled, but didn't say anything. She turned around and looked at her mother. Mom, are these two names okay? Do they sound good? They sound good, as long as you like them. My granddaughter. You can call them anything you want. Young Merong's eyes were filled with warmth. It was such a happy thing to be by her daughter's side and watch her give birth to a pair of cute twins. Miss Hua, it's almost time. The babies need to sleep in the incubator for a while. Okay. Huamin reluctantly let go of her hand and let the nurses take the babies away. Then, only she and her mother were left in the room. Fawn, I've always wanted to talk to you alone, Yang Mei Yurong said slowly as she looked at her daughter. Mom, go ahead. Mian, I didn't mean anything by what I said to you today. Don't think too much about it. I'm doing it for your own good. Yang Mei Yurong knew that Huamin had prenatal depression, so she didn't dare to say too much before. Now that the babies were born, Huamin's mood improved a lot. She really needed to talk to her daughter. I know, don't feel burdened. I'm not that unreasonable. Huamin smiled. Then, she took her mother's hand and placed it in her palm, just like when she was young. Although Yang Mei Yurong wasn't her biological mother, she had been really good to her all these years. She had never looked at her coldly just because Zhixin was a boy and she was a girl. Instead, she doted on her the same way. Although her mother misunderstood her because of Uncle Jing's death, it didn't affect their years of mother-daughter relationship. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Yang Mei Yurong didn't hold back anymore. She said earnestly, Mian, you're only 25 years old this year. You're still so young. What are you going to do with twins? Mom, it's not hard at all. The money that Qin Shu left me is enough for our entire family to live comfortably. Do you know how much that is? Huamin smiled. I'm not interested in those numbers. All I know is that there are a lot of things in this world that money can't buy. No matter how rich you are, can you buy the twins' paternal love? Yang Mei Yurong questioned. Huamin remained silent. Can you buy the company of the man you need? Huamin remained silent. Mian, I know you're a strong woman. You're independent and strong, and you've always been like that. But even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for the twins. They were born without a father and can only grow up with their mother's love. Can you really bear to see that? I don't want to. Mom, but what can I do? Qin Shu. Huamin's eyes teared up slightly. She had already stopped herself from thinking about Qin Shu, afraid that her depression would worsen. Have you thought about it? If Qin Shu is dead and he's never coming back, what about you? Are you really going to be alone? Yang Mei Yurong looked at her daughter with heartache. Chapter 17:23. It's fine if I'm alone. We came to this world as one person, and in the end, we were taken in by one person. We shouldn't have placed our hopes on someone else. I'm prepared to be alone for the rest of my life. This is fate. I've already accepted it. Huamin replied calmly. No, Mian, you're wrong. You still have a long life ahead of you. You're only in your 20s, and your life has just begun. If Qin Shu really doesn't come back, you should consider giving someone else a chance. I don't want you to be alone. Huamin was a little surprised, and then she looked up at her mother. Mom, what do you mean? Yang Mei Yurong took a deep breath and slowly said, Mian, to be honest, I think Su Yu is a good guy. Before Huamin could say anything, Yang Mei Yurong continued, I know how Su Yu feels about you. I heard that he's liked you for a long time. Mom, who did you hear that from? Did Auntie Su say anything to you? Huamin was a little embarrassed. No, Lady Su didn't say anything. I've been there. How can I not see the way Su Yu looks at you? Plus, the Su family has done so much for us. Even I, as his mother, am touched. If it weren't for the Su family, you would have been executed a long time ago. Mom, even if Su Yu has done so much for me, I can't give myself to him. You have to know that I don't love him. If I choose to be with him instead of loving him, I'd be irresponsible to him and myself. Huamin's voice was a little agitated. She didn't think that even her mother would ask her to accept Suyu. Mian, you have to know that I'm asking you to give that kid a chance. It's not because of his wealth or family background. It's because of his character. He's a trustworthy person, and I think he can give my granddaughters a safe and warm home. You can't always think about yourself. Plus, marriage isn't about love. After two people who love each other get over the 7-year itch, they'll return to normal and live a normal life, not a romantic one. I know you're smarter than I am, so I'm just giving you a suggestion. Of course, the decision is still yours. Although Suyu was born into a rich family, he doesn't have the temperament of a spoiled brat. Instead, he's devoted to you. Even a blind person can see that. Plus, you've always been a grateful person. I don't believe that you'll be willing to betray the Su family and Suyu's love for you. Mom, this has nothing to do with betraying anyone. Suyu's love for me is his business. I love Shu. Plus, have you thought about what would happen if Shu comes back and I end up with Suyu? What would happen to Shu? After all, he's the man I love, and he's the father of my children. I'm not asking you to make a decision right now. What I'm saying is, give yourself some time, and give Shu some time as well. If after 3 or 5 years, Shu is still missing, I believe that he's either dead or alive. If that happens, what's the point of waiting for someone like him? Chapter 1724. Mom, this isn't something that can be explained in a few words. I have my own plans. Huamin didn't seem to agree with her mother's opinion, but she didn't want to argue with her either. Therefore, she subconsciously avoided the question. Okay, if that's the case, then I won't say any more. Yang Mei Yurong wasn't disappointed. She knew her daughter's temper very well. Huamin could be very scary when she was stubborn. She wasn't perfect. Even if she was a genius, she still had personality flaws. As a mother, Yang Mei Yurong understood her situation, but she still hoped that she and her child could have a better life. She didn't want to raise her child alone at such a young age. When her child grew up, she could leave home and have her own family. When that happened, what would her daughter, Huamin, do? Would she have to spend the rest of her life with her? The more Yang Mei Yurong thought about it, the sadder she felt. Just then, the door to the ward opened, and a group of people walked in. Su led the way, followed by Wei Liao, Jiang Xiaowei, Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling and Ai Yang, Chun Jia, and of course Tang Chuan, who was always alone. Dr. Hua, congratulations, we're the daughters. Let me see. Tang Chuan couldn't wait to put the gifts on Huamin's bed and began to look around for the children. They're sleeping in the incubator. You could go over there, or you can wait until they wake up and bring them over. Wow, I'm so excited to see what my daughter-in-law looks like, Zhu Lingling exclaimed. I feel the same, Jiang Xiaowei said calmly. Huamin smiled helplessly. Is it okay for you two to be like this? My daughter was born less than 48 hours ago, and you're already planning for the future. So, do you want to marry me? My family is rich, Jiang Xiaowei laughed. Although we're not rich, we're high-ranking officials. When my son grows up, Captain Gao will probably be able to work in the provincial department. So, do you want to get one of my family? With our relationship for so many years, I'll be super good to my daughter-in-law. If my son dares to fool around with a mistress, I'll definitely break his legs, Zhu Lingling said confidently. Ahem. Honey, calm down. You're thinking too far ahead. Gao Ran stopped Zhu Lingling from saying anything more. Everyone burst into laughter. Huamin received a mountain of gifts, golden jade bracelets, emerald bracelets, jade guanine pendants, diamond longevity locks. The level of luxury left one speechless. Lord Su, what did you give him? Why don't I see your gift? Tang Chuan asked out of turn. I don't have a gift, I'm poor. I can't afford it. I can't compare to rich people like you, Suyu answered shamelessly. Everyone almost vomited blood when they heard this. President Su, you're too low-key. If you say you're poor, then wouldn't we be beggars? And Ayang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Ignore him, he's just pretending, I think he gave me something too good to show, Wei Liao laughed. So you're wrong. Why don't you share your gift with us? Gowron also joined in. Zhu Lingling looked at him with disdain. Lord Su, did you really not prepare a gift? Why are you so cheap? Seeing that everyone was starting to make things difficult for Su Yu, Huamin immediately stepped forward. What gift? I've been living in the Su family for a while, and I've spent an astronomical amount of money. I don't want his gift. It's not good to spend too much money. In the future, Su Yu still needs to save money for his wife. After Huamin finished speaking, everyone looked at Su Yu in the end. Su Yu couldn't withstand everyone's bombardment. He slowly reached into his trouser pocket and took out an invoice. Then he placed it on the table in an extremely cool manner. Tang Chuan quickly snatched the invoice. When he looked at it, he was stunned. Chapter 1725. Wow, what a big gift. What is it? Let me see. Zhu Lingling felt like she was asking for it. She snatched it over and looked at it. She couldn't help but exclaim, wow, 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 wow. Rich people are so different. They're so generous. Lingling, don't beat around the bush. Tell us. Jiang Shaowei chuckled. It's a luxury cruise ship worth 380 million yuan, princess. Holy shit. Lord Su, you're so generous. You treat them like your own daughters. Wei Liao was also amazed. Su Yu's face flashed with awkwardness. It seems like you're serious. A plane for a boy and a cruise ship for a girl. Tang Chuan suddenly remembered what he said when they were chatting. I'm a man of my word. Do you think I'm as talkative as you guys? Su Yu said proudly. This gift is too expensive. I can't. Huamin was about to refuse. However, Su Yu turned around and glared at her. It's not for you. You can't refuse it. It's for the little princesses. As long as they like it. Huamin was speechless. Mian, I heard that the babies' names have been decided. Jiang Shaowei cleverly changed the subject, not wanting to embarrass Huamin any further. Aren't they going to be called Pudding and Little Bean? Zhu Lingling was confused. Their official names. I heard that they're going to be used on the birth certificate today. Jiang Shaowei added. Sis, so what are my nieces going to be called? Enai Yang looked expectant. Chun Jie shyly held onto Enai Yang's arm. I think our chief's name will be very special and beautiful. Huamin smiled, glanced at everyone's faces, and said, Qin Zhao Zhao, Qin Mumu. Zhao Zhao Mumu. Wei Liao chuckled. However, Jiang Shaowei blurted out, the delicate clouds are ingenious. The flying stars transmit hatred. The Milky Way crosses in secret. The golden wind and the jade do meet, surpassing countless people in the human world, tender as water. The auspicious days are like a dream, enduring the Magpie Bridge and returning to the road. If two people love each other for a long time, how can they be together day and night? Qingguan's immortal at the Magpie Bridge. Mian, you're so poetic, Gao Ran praised. What do you mean? Can someone explain? I'm not well educated. Don't bully me. Zhu Lingling interrupted. It means that you miss someone very much. You miss them day and night, from sunrise to sunset. You miss them every single day. If you really love them for a long time, you don't need to spend every single day with them. You'll be together forever. Jiang Shaowei briefly explained what she meant. Mian, you came up with this name to commemorate Mr. Qin, right? Zhu Lingling blurted out without thinking. Su Yu's eyes were slightly hurt. It seemed like, after all that they'd been through, Huamin still only had Qin Shu in his heart. Even their children's names were Zhao Zhao Mumu. So sentimental. Qin Zhao Zhao. Qin Mumu. They're so cute. I'm looking forward to what they'll be like when they grow up. Will they be as calm and arrogant as Mr. Qin, or as smart and far-sighted as you? Jiang Shaowei looked at Huamin and chuckled. I don't have any expectations for them anymore. I just want them to grow up healthy and safe. Huamin replied with a smile. Are we going to celebrate your 1-month birthday? Tang Chuan suddenly asked. I'll prepare it. You guys can come to my house. Huamin can't go out right now. The murder case hasn't been solved yet? Didn't Mayor Song fall from power? Enai Yang asked curiously. Song Qing's fall from power has nothing to do with Hua Xiqian's murder case. The only key person is Hua Xiqian. Jiang Shaowei analyzed. Speaking of Hua Xiqian, I'm confused. Mian already gave birth, but he's still calm and hasn't done anything. It's not like him. Did he hold it in for too long and want to scheme against Mian? Zhu Lingling guessed. Chapter 17:26. If he dares to mess with Huamin again, I'll fight him to the death. Su Yu's words were completely out of reflex. He didn't feel awkward until he said it out loud. After all, there's so many people around, and it wasn't good for him to be so blunt. Ahem. Right now, the only person who can deal with that crazy Hua Xiqian is our Lord Su. Tang Chuan smirked as he put his arm around Su Yu's shoulder. Let's go see the twins in the incubator, two beauties. Jiang Shaowei took the lead and led the rest of the group away. Suddenly, Huamin was left alone in the room. I'll go make you some soup. Lie down first. Yang Meiyurong looked at her daughter. Okay, thank you, Mom. Huamin finally understood the greatness of a mother after giving birth. Carrying a baby for 10 months and then giving birth in the morning. It wasn't as simple as it seemed. Only women who experienced it would know. People say that only when you raise a child do you know how much your parents love you. Huamin finally understood this saying. She also knew how hard it was for her mother to raise her and Jixin. Huamin was just about to lie down when her phone rang. It was a video call. Kid, what time is it over there? Aren't you sleeping? Huamin looked at Jixin and chuckled. Sis, where are my nieces? I want to see them. Jixin couldn't wait to speak. After Huamin gave birth, Yang Meiyurong called Jixin and told him about it. He was no longer in the mood to go to class. The twins were in the incubator. Haha, they're in the incubator. They're still very light, so they can't move freely yet. What do they look like? Do they look like you or brother-in-law? Or do they look like you and brother-in-law? How would I know? They're so small, I can't see anything. I can only see their faces after they're a month old. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Just thinking about how I'm an uncle makes me so happy. I really want to fly back and see them. What's the rush? When I'm done with my confinement, I'll move out. You don't have many classes, so you can fly back and we can catch up. When Mom came back, she was worried about you. She said that you can't eat well over there. Australia is different from China, and there are very few ingredients. Even if we can buy them, they won't taste the same. Mom misses me so much. I miss you so much. Sis, you just gave birth and your body is still weak. If you eat something good, I'll ask Mom to make more delicious food for you, like fish soup or pig trotter soup. Yes, take good care of yourself. Don't catch a cold. I heard that if you get sick during the confinement period, it won't be easy to treat. Kid, what are you nagging about? Your sister is a doctor. Do I need you to tell me that? Why are you becoming more and more like Mom? Is this something a man like you should be concerned about? Huh. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry at his younger brother's concern. I'm doing this for your own good. Sis, you really don't know what's good for you. Jixin sighed. Kid, do you have a new girlfriend overseas? Hurry up and tell me. I really don't. Foreign girls are hot and passionate, but I'm not interested. A few of my classmates are Chinese, but they're too arrogant and snobbish. They think I'm a poor international student and don't want to talk to me because I'm living a frugal life. Okay, I give up. But you're still young. You don't have to rush into relationships. Sis, yeah? Still no news from brother-in-law? Jixin asked carefully. Chapter 17:27. Upon hearing Jixin's words, Huamin's eyes dimmed slightly. Not yet, sis, don't be sad. I believe that he's still alive. You have to have faith in him. MHM, I'll wait for him. Then you have to be happy. Don't make us worry. Okay, I'll hang up then. Sis, I'm going to sleep. After hanging up, Huamin didn't even have time to feel sad before someone knocked on the door. Come in. Rick came in alone. The bodyguard stopped at the door. He was wearing a black long-sleeved t-shirt. It was simple, but his aura was still as cold as ever. He carried two big gift boxes in his hands. It was a very grand occasion. Rick, why are you here? I heard that the twins were born. Huamin, congratulations. Thank you. Huamin smiled sweetly. This is a gift for the twins. You know that I'm a little dumb. I don't know how to choose. I went back to the States a few days ago and went to a jewelry store with my brother. I like this pearl set, so I bought 2 sets. Rick placed the gifts in front of Huamin. You're too kind. They're just kids. You don't have to give them such expensive gifts. I'm their uncle, so I have to be prepared. Rick, why isn't Cece here? Huamin asked on purpose. We broke up. Rick said faintly. They really broke up? Just because I got hurt last time? Not really. Anyways, it's a long story. I think Cece would be happier if she left me and found an ordinary man. Rick's face was full of melancholy. But you're not Cece. How can you figure out what she's thinking? What if she thinks that being with you is the happiest thing in the world? Huamion's question left Rick speechless. It's already like this. I'll leave it at that. I'll slowly move my business away this year. I'll probably go back to the States at the end of the year. You're leaving? Huamin was surprised. Yeah, there's no one to take care of my brother's business. I've been carefree here for long enough. It's time for me to take on the responsibility of the family. Are you really going to break up with Cece just like that? Don't you feel regret? It's hard to say when it comes to relationships. I don't know how to talk about love. So be it. I'm already satisfied. Hearing Rick's words, Huamin did not intend to persuade him any further. After all, Rick's personality was too dull. It wasn't something that could be explained in a few words. In a month's time, I'll be holding a 1-month-old celebration in the Su family. Remember to come. Okay. Rick agreed without hesitation. After Rick left, Huamin lay down to take a nap. Then, the phone rang. Seeing that it was Hua Xiqian's number, Huamin originally wanted to ignore it. But she also wanted to see what he was going to do. So, for some reason, he still accepted it. Hello? Wow, you picked up my call. Mian, it seems like you don't hate me that much. Cut the crap. What do you want? I heard that you gave birth to twins. Congratulations. I don't need your congratulations. I prepared a gift for the twins. I'll get someone to send it to the hospital for you. I don't want it. Hua Xiqian, stop pretending to be a good person. You ruined my family, and now you're pretending to care about me. What do you want? Mian, everything I did was because I wanted to have you. Don't tell me you don't understand. Hua Xiqian's voice gradually became gentle. But you killed Qin Chu. I won't forgive you. Huamin's voice was a little agitated. No, baby, don't be agitated. Are you sure Qin Chu is really dead? What do you mean? Huamin was slightly surprised, as if he heard something else. Chapter 1728. Nothing. I'm sure someone as smart as you would know. Before Huamin could think, Hua Xiqian continued, I think you're planning to be with Su Yu now. What nonsense are you talking about? Huamin was furious. Am I not? Mian, hiding in the Su family like a coward really isn't like you. Haha. Do you think your provocation will work on me? Hua Xiqian, you underestimate me. If I say I'm willing to be a coward and hide in the Su family, what are you going to do about it? Huamin sneered. What else can I do? I can only think about you. But Qin Chu is really sad. If he comes back one day and finds out that his wife and children are someone else's, I don't know how he'll feel. Hua Xiqian, don't slander me. I don't care if you slander me, but don't you ever mention Qin Chu's name again. You'll tarnish his name. You don't deserve it. Do you understand? Huamin was rarely so irrational. He looked like he was about to go crazy. Hua Xiqian had really crossed the line. How could he say something that made Huamin's heart hurt? Huamin was speechless. Okay, my Mian. Calm down. I'm just telling you the truth. I thought you didn't like Su Yu, but the truth is you'll fall in love with him. If you continue to live in the Su family like this, you'll really become their daughter-in-law. But that's good. The Su family is a big business. They're also a military family with great power. They might become your strongest support. Stop it. Hua Xiqian, what do you want? Mian, I just want to love you. You're ridiculous. I don't need your perverted love. Hua Xiqian, the person you love isn't me, it's yourself. For your own happiness, you can do anything to hurt me. But a man who truly loves me won't. So stop talking about love. I can't take it. No, you can. No one in this world can take it more than you. Actually, Mian, I've always wanted to ask you. You gave Qin Chu a chance because you love him. What about Su Yu? Who is he? Why should he be by your side? What about me? I've known you for so many years. I've been good to you. What am I to you? Hua Xiqian was never this sad, but when he heard Mion's voice, he became depressed. He was full of resentment. Hua Xiqian, you have to understand, there's nothing between us. Suyu was good to me and liked me, and I'm grateful to him. He's my best friend because he's never hurt me. Instead, he's always been considerate of me, and whenever I'm in trouble, he's always by my side. Even if we can't be lovers in this lifetime, I'm willing to be his best friend for life. If anything happens to Suyu, I'm willing to do anything for him. But you've become my enemy, the one who destroyed my family, and I'm still a murderer because of you. Hua Xiqian, you've killed so many people, including Hua Zhenghai, Jiang Linyue, and Song Yishu. They all died by your hands. Don't you feel guilty at all? Mion, what's wrong with you? I didn't kill anyone. I'm a famous entrepreneur. How could I do something like that? It seems like you're hallucinating after giving birth. You're too tired. You should rest. I'll get someone to send your gift to the hospital. You should get some rest. Hua Xiqian. Chapter 1729. Before Huamin could finish his sentence, Hua Xiqian hung up the phone. He had always been cautious, afraid that Huamin would record his conversation, so he never admitted to killing anyone. However, they were well aware of these things in their hearts. That afternoon, someone delivered a mysterious gift, 2 black, sparkling diamond necklaces. It was priceless, but it looked extremely strange. Sell it. It'd be a waste to throw it away. Hua Xiqian didn't give you something cursed, right? Don't take it, Zhu Lingling suggested. Okay, take it. I won't take it. Huamin glanced at the black diamond necklaces indifferently. Then I'll sell it for you. Don't be afraid, it'll be fine. Suyu quietly picked up the diamond box and stood up. At a Chinese restaurant in a 5-star hotel, Hua Xiqian made a phone call from the washroom and returned to a luxurious private room. President Hua, come here. Everyone was just talking about you. They said that you've always been a good drinker. We've known you for so long, but we've never seen it. Mayor Yin just took office, so he doesn't know how much you can drink. Today, let's drink to our heart's content. A few high-ranking officials dragged Hua Xiqian over and sat down in front of the new mayor. Mayor Yin was about the same age as Mayor Song, and he was transferred from another city. It was a promotion. The reason why everyone respected Hua Xiqian was because he was now an important figure in the city, even though the former mayor was nominally his father-in-law. However, rumor had it that Hua Xiqian was the one who reported Mayor Song for corruption and keeping a mistress. It was a love-hate relationship. Outsiders would never understand. But these officials knew that if they could please President Hua, they would have a bright future. President Hua, you're young and promising. I've heard a lot about you when I was in H City. Mayor Yin, you're too kind. I'm not that amazing. I'm just an ordinary, law-abiding entrepreneur. Everyone was chatting suddenly. The private room door was pushed open. Daddy, have you seen my chinchilla? A girl in her 20s with exquisite short hair appeared at the door. Mayor Yin smiled apologetically. I'm sorry. My daughter doesn't know any better and has made a fool of herself in front of you. Daddy, you're in a meeting? I thought you were having a simple meal. Ah, I'm sorry. The girl seemed to know that she was wrong and wanted to retreat. However, he was stunned the moment he saw Hua Xiqian. You look so familiar. Do we know each other? The young girl stared at Hua Xiqian's face and said word by word, I don't know him. Then, oh, I remember now. You look a lot like a senior from my university. Oh my God. Even your temperament is similar. Ruashi, don't be impudent, Mayor Yin reminded. Daddy, I'm telling the truth. She really looks like an old friend of mine. Ruashi, this is President Hua. Say hello. Mayor Yin looked at his youngest daughter lovingly. President Hua? The young president of the Hua Corporation? The girl was in disbelief. That's right. Hua Xiqian smiled faintly. Oh my God, you're so much more handsome in person than in the photos. I thought you were a boring middle-aged man. But in reality, you're as handsome as a Korean celebrity. The girl exclaimed. Then, The girl ran over and sat in the empty seat between her father and Hwasichian. Huh? Are you really Hwasichian? The girl's face was filled with surprise and infatuation. Chapter 1730. Yes. Wow. You don't look like you're in your 30s at all. Your style is I really like it, you know? I've always thought that only men who can pull off colorful suits are truly charming. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Hwasichian picked up his teacup and sipped on his tea lightly. Quick, give me your WeChat. I want to add you. Oh my God. I'm going to tell my friends that I met you in person. They're going to be really excited. My friends are all fans of you. They think you're special. Ruwashi, Mayor Yin seemed to have a headache over his younger daughter's impulsiveness. It's okay, Mayor Yin. It's rare for your daughter to be in the mood. Then, Hwasichian took out his phone, opened WeChat, and found the QR code. Then he placed it flat on the table. Yin Ruwashi immediately took out her pink phone and added him. She then excitedly introduced herself. Hello, my name is Yin Ruwashi. Yin as in strict, Ruwashi is. You've seen the popular TV series Step by Step a few years ago, right? Isn't the female lead called Marta Ruwashi? I'm that Ruwashi. Hello, Miss Ruwashi. I'm Hwasichian. Hwasichian gentlemanly stretched out his fair and slender hands. The young girl held Hwasichian's hands in surprise, her eyes shining brightly. This was a very interesting meal. Originally, the newly appointed Mayor Yin wanted to invite Hwasichian to get to know him and see what kind of person he was. But it was all ruined by her insensible little daughter. Mayor Yin was extremely embarrassed. Before he left, he kept apologizing to Hwasichian. I'm really sorry my daughter is immature. I'm sorry for troubling you, Mr. Huh. You're too kind, Mayor Yin. Your daughter is innocent and cute. It's my honor to be admired by her. Hwasichian, are you really single? Don't you have a girlfriend? Yin Ruwashi ignored everyone else and asked. I used to be married, but my wife passed away, so I'm considered a widow. Wow, you're so pitiful, but you're still so young. You won't always be single, right? Are you still looking for a girlfriend? Miss Yan's straightforward question made Mayor Yin feel embarrassed. Ruwashi, you talk too much. Daddy, I've always been like this. It's not like you don't know that I grew up in the States and learned how to be honest with others. Mayor Yin rubbed his forehead, indicating that he did not know what to say, but it was a headache. Miss Yin is right. I really can't be alone, so I'm still trying my best to find a girlfriend. Hwasichian smiled gently. Yin Ruwashi's eyes lit up immediately. Then you can? Ruwashi, we should go now. Mayor Yin dragged his daughter away awkwardly before she could finish her sentence. From afar, she could still hear him scolding his daughter. Boss, where are we going now? Let's go home. Yes. Then, Hwasichian got into a black Bentley Continental. Boss, I think this Miss Yin seems to be interested in you, huh? In the front passenger seat, Hwasichian's subordinate asked with a smile. That silly girl? Hwasichian sneered. Boss, if you can make her work for you, things will go a lot smoother. Mayor Yin might help us even more. The problem now is that I'm not begging him to help me. He has to help me. He has no choice. Otherwise, he'll end up like Song Qinghua. As for his brainless daughter, I have no interest in her at all. She reeks of a slut. In Hwasichian's eyes, other than Hwamin, all women were idiots in his eyes. Therefore, he would never be tempted by a silly girl like her. Boss, there's news from the hospital. What did she say? Did she accept the gift? Yes, we did, but... The subordinate paused. But what? Hwasichian looked up with a piercing gaze. Chapter 1731. But it was sold by Su Yu at an exorbitant price. Boss, I think it's an insult to you. Should we know? We can't touch Su Yu for now. The Su family isn't as simple as you think. Yes, sir. Hearing that the gift for Mion's baby was sold by Su Yu at an exorbitant price. Hwasichian was pissed, but he didn't get angry. He was still tapping the handle of the car with his right hand. His mind seemed to be thinking about something quickly. With Mion's intelligence, he didn't know if what he said just now would work. It would be great if his provocation worked. Then Mion might move out in a fit of anger. then it wouldn't be so hard for him to even see her. What he needed to do next was to find a way to clear Mion's name. After all, Song Qinghua had fallen from power, and no one was going to stop this, so it was much easier for him. Find a scapegoat. Say that she killed Song Yishu and kidnapped Huamin's family to threaten Huamin into admitting that she killed Song Yishu. She had nothing to do with it. Hand over all the evidence we have, and remember to give it to Director Zhao from the prosecutor's office. I have a good relationship with him. Yes, sir. Hua Xiqian didn't say anything. He tilted his head and looked at the night sky outside. He had a feeling that Qin Chu would be back soon, and the feeling in his heart grew stronger and stronger. It seemed like the battle of the century was about to begin. Inside the military hospital, everyone left after visiting the babies and Mion. Huamin ate his postnatal meal and was about to lie down and rest. Someone knocked on the door. Come in. A girl in a white dress walked in. She had delicate features and long hair. Cece, why are you here? I heard that you gave birth. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to come in, so I called young Master Su. Cece said timidly. Huh, you have Su Yu's number? Huamin thought she was a god. My sister is an artist at Su Yu's company. I got it from her. Luckily, young Master Su is very nice. He picked up the phone and came to the door to pick me up. Sit here, Cece. Huamin was very friendly. Huamian liked Cece very much. She had witnessed how Cece and Rick fell in love with each other and broke up with each other. I bought these for the babies. It's not expensive. Please don't mind. Cece handed him 2 baby gift bags. They were both pink and beautiful. It's obvious that she put a lot of her heart. What? I'm happy that you're here. Huamian chuckled. Where are the babies? Cece looked around, but didn't see the babies. They're taking a shower right now. They're swimming and weighing themselves. Oh, I'm so happy. You're a mother so soon and have 2 little babies. I envy you, Huamin. I always thought that you were the real winner in life. Cece looked at Huamin enviously. I'm not. There's no such thing as a perfect life. Things don't always go your way. I also have times when I'm troubled, but God is kind to me. I do have a daughter now, but there's nothing to be envious of. Life is like this. There are gains and losses. I don't think I'm very happy. I can only work hard to live my life in the way I like. You always make sense, like chicken soup for the soul. I always learn a lot from you. By the way, Huamin, do you have a name for the babies? Cece asked with a smile. Chapter 1732. Yes, her real name is Qin Zhao Zhao, Qin Mu Mu, and her nicknames are Pudding and Little Bean. Wow, so many cute names. Did you come up with them? Yeah. Huamin nodded. I admire you so much. You even came up with these names yourself. If it were me, I'd probably name them Little Flower or Little Grass. Haha. When Cece laughed, her face was full of innocence and innocence. Perhaps it was because she came from a good family and didn't have much pressure, so she lived a carefree life. Before she got together with Rick, she had a first love, but they broke up because they were in different places. To be honest, Cece was the same as Huamin. She wasn't the type of girl who could make people fall for her at first sight. However, she had a unique charm and attractiveness. Otherwise, even the cold and quiet Rick wouldn't have fallen for her tenderness. Mion. The truth is, I came here today to apologize to you. I want to apologize to you. Cece looked at Huamin apologetically. Why are you apologizing all of a sudden? Huamin was slightly surprised. Last time you got hurt, it was my fault. I knew you were being targeted, but I still asked you to come out and explain to Rick. In the end, you got hurt. Thank goodness you and the baby are fine, or else I'd feel guilty for the rest of my life. Don't say that, Cece. You didn't do it on purpose. Even I didn't expect the surprise attack to be so powerful. To be honest, I was scared. But I know you're not a traitor. You were just used by them. Rick was right to scold me. I didn't think enough and brought trouble to everyone. Speaking of Rick, Cece's eyes became sad. She had been separated from Rick for more than 3 months. During this time, they hadn't contacted each other. She had been waiting for him. Every day, she hugged her phone, even when she was sleeping. However, he never called her, not even once on WeChat. Many times, she couldn't help but want to go to Seductive Fox to find him and ask him why. However, her self-esteem began to hurt her. Every time she thought about Rick pointing a gun at her head, her heart would shatter like a dumpling. Cece, have you ever thought that maybe Rick didn't break up with you because he suspected you? No matter what the reason was, he decided to abandon me. Mian, I always thought that he was a reliable person, so I relied on him a lot. It's like having someone give you candy every day, regardless of the weather. You think you're going to have sweet candy to eat every day, but one day, not only did he stop giving you candy, he even tried to kill you. Do you know how I feel? I was so sad that I wanted to die. He didn't believe me, so he broke up so heartlessly and didn't even look for me. I kept thinking that even if he impulsively pointed a gun at my head, as long as he was willing to take the initiative to look for me, I was still willing to give him a way out. But he didn't. Cece, Rick isn't good at expressing himself. If you want to hear sweet words from him, it'll be harder than reaching the heavens. Mr. Cheen was like that too. When we were young, we dated. It felt like we were in a long-distance relationship, even though we lived in the same city. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't love me or that he doesn't care. Hwamin comforted her. I know, but now, forget it. I don't think we're meant to be. But Cece, are you really willing to give up? Is that what you really think? Hwamin asked. Chapter 1733. What else can I do if I don't give up? So be it, Cece said dejectedly. Rick came this morning as well. Is that so? Cece raised her head abruptly in surprise. Like you, he's here to see the babies. He even prepared gifts for them. Oh, Rick also said that he's going back to the States after he's done with the handover. He's not coming back. He really said that. Cece suddenly felt as if something was missing from her heart. It was as if something had been taken away from her. She felt so insecure. Rick never lies. So, if you really give up, you won't have a chance after he leaves. Lin Mingya said with a smile. But what else can I do if I don't give up? Am I supposed to keep looking for him and let him torture me? Cece smiled bitterly. Sparkling and translucent tears were swirling in her eyes. Cece, tell me, do you still love Rick? Of course. Cece's voice was choked with sobs. Then, do you still want to be with him? Yes, I do. I really want to be with him. Just like before, I can't forget him. Cece didn't pretend in front of Hwamin anymore. She cried and said what was on her mind. Then, okay, leave it to me. Cece looked at Hwamin in surprise. In a month, I'll hold a 1-month-old baby party at the Su family. Rick will be there, and I hope you'll come too. All of you can come and meet each other. Then, I'll create a chance for you guys. It might be your last chance. I hope you'll seize it. Hwamin, thank you so much. Cece grabbed Hwamin's hand excitedly. You don't have to thank me. I could tell that Rick cares about you a lot. He just won't say it out loud. Okay. Hearing Hwamin's words, Cece felt much better. After chatting with Hwamin and visiting the babies at the swimming pool, Suyu sent Cece out of the military hospital. When Suyu came back, he walked into the room quietly while Yang Mei Yurong and Lady Su went out to eat. Only Hwamin was left in the room. Are you okay? Are you tired? No. Do you want some fruit? I can peel an orange for you. Suyu gently sat across from Hwamin and asked. I don't want to eat. The babies went for a swim after their shower. The older sister's reaction time is a bit faster than the younger sister's. She swims really fast, and she's very receptive to the outside world. She doesn't look like premature babies at all. Then, they were ignored and fed milk. They really enjoyed it. The two little ones are so small, but their appetites are quite big. Suyu smiled as he described the twins' journey. Hwamin listened attentively with a smile on his face. You must be tired after seeing so many friends today. Go to bed early. After speaking, Suyu got up to leave. Suyu, Kwasichian called me today. Really? What did he say to you? Suyu turned to look at Hwamin and asked. He tried to provoke me. He talked about the pros and cons of our relationship and tried to force me to leave the Su family. Will you? Suyu looked at Hwamin affectionately. Not for now. I have to think about my daughters, Hwamin said decisively. Hearing this, Suyu felt a lot more relieved and a little happy. Hua Xiqian also said something. I think he said that Qin Shu isn't dead, Huamin said slowly. Really? Did Hua Xiqian find Qin Shu's whereabouts? Suyu was surprised. He wasn't prepared for this. Chapter 1734. I'm not sure yet, but I think he hasn't found him yet. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come to test me. That means he hasn't given up after so long. Of course, he's afraid that Qin Shu isn't dead. He's afraid that he'll leave trouble for himself. I hope Qin Shu isn't dead. So he wasn't confident when he said this. After so long, there was still no news of Qin Shu. Sometimes, he really thought selfishly that Qin Shu wouldn't come back. If that was the case, wouldn't he have the rest of his life to spend with Huamin? I believe that Hua Xiqian wouldn't say those things for no reason. There must be some clues. Suyu, if Qin Shu isn't dead and didn't lose his memory, why hasn't he come back yet? Huamin looked at Suyu with tears in his eyes. To be honest, she was about to lose all hope. I think he might have his reasons. Suyu analyzed. Seeing Huamin's lonely expression, Suyu went up to comfort him. You just gave birth and don't have enough energy. Don't think too much. Sleep well. When the twins come out of the incubator and everything is fine, we'll go home and rest. Okay. Huamin nodded. Suyu considerately pulled up the blanket for him, closed the door, and left. In the blink of an eye, Huamin stayed in the hospital for about a week. A week later, Huamin and the babies were secretly discharged from the hospital. When they returned to the Su family, it was very grand. Lord Su and Mr. Su were both back. That night, the Su family's dinner party was unusually lively. Lord Su held the babies and wouldn't let go. He hugged one, then the other. Perhaps it was because he was old, so he especially liked children. Mr. Su's face was no longer stern. His eyes were filled with gentleness. Aya, wow, these two girls are so beautiful, and they're so smart. Grandpa, he's so young. He's only 7 or 8 days old, and you can already tell that he's smart. How did you do it? Suyu teased. I've seen a lot in my life, and I've seen all kinds of people. These two children have a spirit in their eyes that ordinary people don't have. If they're sent to the army in the future, they'll definitely do well. Master Lord Su said firmly. Here we go again. Wasn't it enough that you set me up? Now you want Pudding and Little Bean to join the army? You can't do that. Girls shouldn't be soldiers. You should treat them like princesses and give them whatever they want. Suyu's arrogant look made people think that the twins were his children. Huamin only smiled and didn't say anything. She was already used to the Su family's atmosphere. At this time, Lady Su handed a bowl of soup to Huamin. Mian, you're still weak. Drink some blackfish soup. Thank you, Auntie. Mr. Su also reminded her, you have to be careful during your confinement. Don't catch a cold. This is not a small matter. I will, Uncle. Dad, she's a doctor. Don't nag her, okay? Suyu looked at his father and retorted. After dinner, Huamin and his mother carried the babies upstairs to rest. After putting the two babies to sleep, Huamin also felt a little sleepy. Mian, when the babies are a month old, let's move back home. After all, this isn't a long-term place. Not now, Mom. It's not safe yet. Hua Xiqian called me this morning, and I'm worried. He's always been cunning and will do anything. I'm not afraid of him, but I'm worried that something will happen to the babies. But we can't live in the Su family forever unless you marry Suyu. Yang Meiyurong brought up the past again. Chapter 1735. Mom, didn't we talk about this? Don't worry. When the time is right, I'll move out. I don't want to live in the Su family either. After all, this isn't my home. No matter how good the Su family treats me, I'm still an outsider, so I don't want to. All right then, as long as you know what you're doing. Seeing this, Yang Meiyurong didn't say anything else late at night. Huamin sat in the middle of the two cribs. Looking at the two identical children, she felt like she was in a dream. Just like that, she became the mother of two children. She didn't seem ready yet. She hadn't officially entered the role of a mother. Babies, I hope you can bless Daddy and come back soon to reunite with us. Huomin gently rocked the crib. His voice was also soft. Outside the door, Suyu was holding a plate of warmed fruit for Huomin to eat. Because he was afraid of catching a cold, he specially soaked the fruit in hot water and prepared to give it to her. Just as he walked to the door, he heard Huomin talking to the children and talking to himself. He was expressing his longing for Qin Shu. For some reason, Suyu felt a dull pain in his heart. He thought that he had already gotten over it and given up. He thought that he was cool enough. However, when he saw that Huomin still couldn't forget Qin Shu, he was still so sad that he wanted to die. Sometimes he selfishly hoped that Huomin would lose his memory. That way, he could be with her from the beginning. When Lady Su passed by, she saw her son standing dumbly at the door of Huomin's room. He was holding a plate of fruit in his hand, but he didn't go in. She suddenly understood something. "You, come with me." Lady Su waved her hand and brought her son to the spacious study on the second floor. "Mom, what's the matter? You didn't deliver the fruit just now. Because you heard Huomin say something, right?" Lady Su guessed. Suyu lowered his head and remained silent. Mian has a husband. It's normal for her to miss her husband. She's not a fickle person. If she was with you right after her husband died, would you still love a woman like you? You like Mian, isn't it because of her character? I like how loyal and righteous she is. Mom, I know what you're talking about. I'm not angry at Huomin. I suddenly feel... You feel uncomfortable? Do you feel wronged? Do you think you can get Mian's heart? No matter how many things you do, you can't get Mian? Lady Su's tea after a moment of silence. Suyu said, "I'm not complaining. I don't regret what I've done to her. Even if she doesn't want to be with me, it doesn't matter. I just feel sad that after being with her for so long, I can't compare to the figure in my memory. What's there to be sad about?" You should have expected this. Mian's not a child. She knows what to do. It's normal that she can't forget her husband. It means she's a sentimental person. Mom, you're right. I'm being too sentimental. Suyu gritted his teeth and said in a low voice, "I'm not saying you're being sentimental. What I mean is, son, there's nothing in this world that can't be yours. There's always something you can't have. Don't add to your troubles. The fact that Mian can live in our house and be with you every day is already a blessing from the heavens. Yes, I shouldn't be greedy. I should be content." Suyu's eyes were a little sad as he sighed. Chapter 1736. It's late, go back and sleep. You have to work tomorrow. Lady Su waved her hand and sent her son away. Okay, I'm leaving then. Mom, you should rest early too. Okay. Lady Su nodded. When he left, Suyu ran into his father again. Dad, I'm going back. You should sleep early. Okay. Mr. Su was still serious. When Mr. Su returned to the bedroom, he saw Mrs. Su crying. He put down the book in his hand, took off his glasses, walked over, and put his hand on her shoulder. What's wrong? Why are you crying? Honey, I feel so bad for you. I've never seen him so sad. It's because of Mian, right? Mr. Su was a discerning person and could tell a glance. Lady Su nodded and gently wiped away her tears. No one can say for sure when it comes to relationships. Love is love, and if you don't love, you don't love. If Mian is with you because she's grateful to the Su family, that would be the real hurt. You're right. Sometimes I'm just a little greedy. If Mian's lover really doesn't come back and she continues to live with the Su family, sooner or later, she'll be moved by you sincerity and be with him. Don't worry about the children. No one knows what will happen in the future. Maybe you will suddenly think things through and fall in love with another girl. You're right. Sigh. But I know my silly son. I think it's harder to make him give up on someone he likes than to kill him. It's probably even harder to make him fall in love with another woman. Lady Su said worriedly, "You is an adult. He should know what to do. As parents, we should support his decision." Although Mr. Su was serious, he was very reasonable. Lady Su suddenly felt enlightened after hearing his words. Honey, you're right. I'm overthinking it. On the way back to his private mansion, Suyu received a call from Tang Chuan. He went to a high-end club under the Tang Corporation. No one knew where Tang Chuan had gotten more than 20 people from, but they all looked quite young. As someone born in the 80s, Su felt that he was old looking at these crazy people born in the 90s. Come, Lord Su, sit over here. Tang Chuan was in a good mood. If it wasn't his birthday today, Su really didn't plan to come. He didn't like to come to this kind of nightclub for a long time. She didn't even attend the company's dinner or the artist's celebratory banquet. Su was wearing a coffee-colored Versace t-shirt and black casual pants. He looked clean and handsome, especially manly, compared to the post-90s rich second-generation heirs in the private room. He simply won in terms of temperament. Lord Su, hello, young Master Su. Good evening, young Master Su. President Su, you're here. Ever since they entered the private room, people kept coming up to greet them and propose toasts. However, Su nodded slightly and did not take a sip. He walked straight to Tang Chuan and sat down. Tang Chuan had 2 girls in his arms. They both had typical online celebrity faces and were not recognizable at all. Were they good-looking? They were definitely good-looking. It was just that after one glance, they would never be able to remember them. Because they were all done in the same hospital, their noses, mouths, and eyes were all the same. Look at you. You're clearly a Scorpio, a high-class constellation. You should be cold and aloof, but you make yourself look like a stud horse. You can't even go a day without a woman. Su immediately criticized. Chapter 1737. Many people wouldn't believe that Tang Chuan was a Scorpio, because a Scorpio wouldn't be so silly, talkative, or flirtatious. He didn't have the temperament of a Scorpio at all. Okay? Tang Chuan laughed out loud. So, I concluded that I'm not a typical Scorpio. I think so too. You might be the scum of the Scorpios. Your genes mutated. Fuck, you humiliated me as soon as you came. You have to drink 3 glasses as punishment. After speaking, Tang Chuan took the initiative to raise his glass. It seemed like he was in a good mood. Su didn't argue and drank 3 glasses in a row. You two go play over there for a while. I have something to talk to Lord Su. Tang Chuan patted the butts of the 2 girls beside him. The 2 women swayed their butts and slowly got up. Only Tang Chuan and Su were left in the middle of the sofa. I haven't drunk with you like this in a long time. It seems like everything started after you met Huamin. You've changed so much. Do you regret it? Tang Chuan looked at Su's face seriously and asked word by word. No. Then do you think it was worth it? It was worth it. Su answered without hesitation. Tang Chuan smiled bitterly. Actually, I'm quite envious of you. Really, it's a kind of happiness to have a woman that you can't love in your life. But for me, love is a kind of extravagant hope. My understanding of love is ha during the day and having sex at night, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the swimming pool. Young Master Tang, please control yourself and take care of your kidneys, Su joked. Tang Chuan smiled. I'm still young. My kidneys are fine. I can easily have 3 women in one night. This kind of life is pretty good because you know what you need. Love without heart will never hurt. It has its pros and cons. Lord Su, my old man came to see me yesterday. The clan impeached you? Su raised his head and asked. It's not an impeachment. It's a threat. Threaten what? Su was startled. You want me to marry that tigress from Fatso Lu's family. It's a family marriage, you know. Fatso Lu's daughter. I remember seeing her once. She's very pretty. Although she's a little fierce, it's not hard for you. After all, Fatso Lu only has 1 daughter. In the future, the Lu family will be easily merged with the Tang Corporation. Isn't that a bad thing? Su analyzed the current situation for Tang Chuan. I've seen that woman many times, and we'll run into each other when we go out to play. She's not my type at all. Although she's pretty and has a good figure, she likes to act cool. I wanted to sleep with her once, but she held on to me tightly. She's playing hard to get. You know how bad my temper is. Why would I fall for that? After that, I didn't even talk to her anymore. Instead, she took the initiative to look for me, and we messaged each other every day. When she was lonely and empty, she looked for me for drinks, and she asked me to go on a vacation abroad, but I didn't go even once. I gave her a chance, but she pretended to be cool with me. So she can't blame me for not playing with her anymore. Later on, I don't know if her brain was fried or what, but she actually told her father that she wanted to marry me. His father must be out of his mind as well. So he went straight to my old man and offered him a lot of things. The dowry made my old man very tempted. You know how powerful my old man is. He's been eyeing Fatso Lou's 4S store for a long time now, and he wanted to monopolize the automotive industry. This time, he hit it off, so he made the decision right away. She told me it wasn't a negotiation, it was an order, a threat. Do you understand? So you're getting married? Suyu asked calmly after hearing Tang Chuan say so much. Chapter 1738. I don't want to marry a pretentious prick. Let me put it this way, Lord Su. Even though I'm an asshole who spent the first half of my life in a drunken stupor, I still think that maybe I'll meet a girl I like. Just like how you like Huamin, Gao Ran likes Zhu Lingling, Wei Liao likes Jiang Xiaowei, and Rick likes Cici. Tang Chuan said with a hopeful look in his eyes at this moment, so you suddenly felt that his friend was a little pitiful. It turned out that under his ridiculous appearance, he hid a heart that believed in true love. So, are you trying to run away from the marriage? Or are you rejecting it? I haven't thought about it yet, but I definitely won't marry her. Tang Chuan's attitude was firm. Actually, sometimes it's not bad to be matched in terms of social status. This kind of relationship with benefits will last longer than that kind of love. That kind of love doesn't come and it'll break up immediately. But a relationship with benefits can last a long time. Many families have been able to survive for hundreds of years because of marriage alliances. Your dad didn't do anything wrong. Fuck, you're not the one getting married. You're just standing there and talking. Don't you think your kidneys hurt? Suyu laughed evilly. What if Lord Su pressured you to marry a woman you don't love and give up on Dr. Hua? What would you do? That's not true because no one in the Su family can pressure me. I'm the only one who can pressure them. Fine, you win. You bastard, I just wanted to complain to you, but you're torturing me. Suyu picked up his wine glass. Come on, we're about to get married because of you. Cheers. Go away. You should be more realistic if you wish me a happy birthday. Happy birthday, young Master Tang. I wish you to be a groom every day and change a bride every day. That's good. This is so down to earth. I'll accept it. Huh. By the way, where's my birthday present? I knew you wanted to extort money from me. Suyu rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. Tycoon Su, you're rich and have a lot of money. You even gave the twins a cruise ship that's worth hundreds of millions. Huh. What do you want? Lamborghini's Sixth Element? Okay. Tang Chuan Su used for 3 years because it was a limited edition. It took a lot of effort to buy it. There were only 12 of them in the world. There's only one in China. It's in Su Yu's Suze's 6th Su Yu's tea. Impossible. Suyu refused without hesitation. I can give you money. Can I buy it? Est. This is Suze's Lumbo. Estes. No, not interested. Tang Chuan pouted. Suyu laughed. To be honest, the twins and I are both Scorpios, and we're both born in October. We're only a few days apart. Is it okay for you to be so biased? Why don't you lend the twins' cruise ship to me? They're still young, after all. Ha! Tang Chuan's imagination was running wild. Don't even think about it. It's custom-made for them. All the details are pink. That's why it's called the princess. You're even closer to them than your own daughters. By the way, why didn't you tell Huamin that she won't refuse to be the twins' godfather? I don't want to give her a hard time. This is already good enough, Suyu said with satisfaction. So you're going to stay like this forever? 10 or 20 years from now? Hey, Lord Su, I suddenly have a good idea. Do you want to hear about the relationship between you and Huamin? Tang Chuan's mind raced as he suddenly had an idea. Chapter 1739. Let's hear it. Suyu held up his wine glass and looked at Tang Chuan proudly. Under normal circumstances, he didn't think highly of Tang Chuan's bad ideas, because he was always so unreliable. How about this? Tell me first. When will the little princesses use the cruise ship? Tang Chuan asked excitedly. At least 3 or 4 years old. They're still too young. I don't dare to take them on. I'm afraid something might go wrong. Su Yu thought to himself. Then let's wait 3 or 4 years. If Qin Shu doesn't come back and Huamin is still alone, then you can hold a birthday party for the little princesses on the cruise ship and propose to them on the spot. Give it a try. I think the chances of Huamin rejecting you are very low. First of all, if Qin Shu doesn't come back in 3 or 4 years, Huamin's heart will be filled with despair. Second of all, if you quietly accompany her for a few years, it will slowly seep into her heart. Whether it's Huamin or the twins, they will all love you as much as they love you. So, I think the timing is right. After hearing this, Su Yu wanted to immediately refute, but he didn't know what to say. Because he actually felt that Tang Chuan's words made sense when the time came. Maybe Huamian would give him a chance. Who said that there were no surprises in life? How would he know if he didn't try? But what if the proposal doesn't work? Wouldn't that be awkward? Su Yu quietly said, "What's there to be awkward about? You guys are still friends. The little princesses will definitely love you and won't be able to leave you. When the time comes, they will speak up for you. Don't worry, I'll think about it." After speaking, Su Yu excitedly picked up a glass of wine and downed it in one gulp. After Mayor Song fell from power, Hua Xiqian found someone to take the blame for Song Yishi's murder. Huamin went from being released for medical treatment to being directly rejected. She did not expect it to happen so quickly. Huamin continued living with the twins at the Su family's house. In his heart, there was a sliver of hope that Qin Shu could still come back. In a luxurious private hospital, in Russia, the door of the operating theater opened and Qin Shu walked out. Dressed in a white coat, he looked incomparably cold. Under her peerless face, there was a trace of sadness. How is it? Can Xiao Fei be saved? Luyan was rarely this anxious. When she found out that Xiao Fei had been shot in 5 places in his chest, her heart almost broke. She had known Psycho Xiao since she was young, and had always thought that he was an unkillable cockroach. He had never thought that he would be so close to death one day. Luyan couldn't imagine what she would do if Xiao Fei really died this time. With the address her father gave her, she easily found Qin Shu. He also successfully persuaded him to perform the surgery for Xiao Fei. The operation lasted for 5 whole days. They did it once a day and removed 1 bullet each time. For everyone, it was a long and torturous process. All the bullets have been removed. He's still in critical condition. We still need to observe him and see if he wants to live. So, don't get your hopes up. I'm not a miracle doctor. Qin Shu's words left Lu Yin speechless. Was this person really her brother-in-law? Why was he as cold as a polar bear? He didn't laugh even once in 1,000 years. How could her sister stand him and love him so much? Anyways, thank you. Thank you for coming. Lu Yin thanked him sincerely. It seemed like her dad was right. In the whole world, only Qin Shu had the confidence to save Xiao Fei. All 5 bullets were in sensitive places. No doctor would dare to perform the surgery. Even a genius like Qin Shu took 5 days to remove 1 bullet each day. He was so cautious. She didn't know if Xiao Fei would wake up. Lu Yan's heart sank at the thought. "Don't thank me. I'm doing this for your sister," Qin Shu said faintly. Then he took off his white coat. Then he took out an obsidian crutch and walked out step by step. You didn't go back to my sister for so long because of the wound on your leg?" Lu Yan asked behind Qin Shu. Chapter 1740. Qin Shu paused his steps slightly. If I go back like this, she'll be even more worried. It's better not to see her. But how do you know what she's thinking? Maybe she doesn't care about this at all. Even if you were crippled, I don't think she'd care. She's such a stubborn person. But I don't want a man to walk with crutches while carrying the woman he loves. You're really selfish. You made the decision for my sister. But I don't think that's the only reason you don't want to go back. You must have done a lot of research on Hua Xiqian when he was studying in Germany, right? Yes, Qin Shu admitted honestly. What a coincidence. I'm doing the same and have some leads. Do you want to share the information? Lu Yin asked. You don't have the right to negotiate with me right now. Don't forget, I just finished your man's surgery. Qin Shu became arrogant. Lu Yin, okay. If Psycho Chow really wakes up, I'll owe you a favor. You can pay me back however you want. Not for now. Are you going back to the States? Yeah. Chin Chu nodded. Did you know that your sister gave birth to twin girls? Yeah. Do you know their names? Zhao Zhao and Mumu. Chin Chu's eyes instantly softened. Their nicknames are Pudding and Little Bean. They sound like a pair of clowns. Chin Chu, you're really lucky. My sister was able to withstand all the pain and was strong enough to give birth to your babies. I'll pay her back what I owe her. After saying this, Chin Chu slowly walked out of the hospital. The Chow family wasn't familiar with Chin Chu, so Mr. Chow kept asking Lu Yin about him. Little Yin, is the doctor who performed the surgery reliable? Will Chow Fei wake up? Uncle, my father strongly recommended this person, and I guarantee that there's no problem. He's a medical genius. He graduated from Harvard Medical School and has performed many difficult surgeries. He was once the chief surgeon for a high-ranking official in China. My father also said that if he can't save me, then all the doctors in the world will be helpless. I'm relieved to hear that. What did he say? When will Xiao Fei recover? I'm not sure yet. There will be a critical period of 48 hours after the surgery. Once it's over, he should be fine. That's good. That's good. The two elders of the Qiao family stayed in the ward, looking haggard. The Qiao family was the largest Chinese mafia in Russia. Their ancestors had been in the arms business for over 60 years. His family was extremely powerful and had a lot of face in front of the various gangs in the world. Even the local mafia in Russia had to give them face. Which son of the Qiao family is this? Qiao Fei was the youngest and the third in line. He was also the most favored child in the family. He was thought highly of by the elders and was the next candidate for the alliance head. He did things swiftly and decisively, without the slightest hesitation. He was very much like Alliance head Xiao when he was young. Therefore, when Xiao Fei got shot this time, it caused a huge uproar. Uncle Xiao, did you get someone to investigate Xiao Fei's injury? Lu Yin asked. It should be Ian's men who did it. It's not the first time Ian and Xiao Fei fought, but he's never been injured so badly. I suspect that things aren't as simple as they seem. So you're saying? There are other people inside? Mr. Qiao looked at Lu Yin warily. Chapter 1741. I suspect there's a mole who might have sold out Xiao Fei's itinerary and location. I think you should investigate it from the inside. Now that you mention it, I do remember. Something is indeed wrong. Honey Yin's right. You have to investigate it. Our son almost died. Are my brothers in Russia? Lu Yin asked casually. No, Xiao Mo is in Jerusalem, and Xiao Nan is in Belgium. Oh, Lu Yin was deep in thought. You suspect that one of them attacked Xiao Fei? Mr. Qiao immediately asked. No, I'm just asking. Uncle, don't overthink it. Lu Yin was very careful with her words in the Qiao family. Mrs. Qiao stood up and held Lu Yin's hand. Yin, Xiao Fei has a weird temper, but he's cared about you all these years. Now that he's in this state, I hope you can stay by his side until he wakes up. Okay? I'm begging you. Auntie, don't be like this. You're too polite. Our families have been friends for generations, and my father and your old friends. Xiao Fei and I are very good friends. I won't leave him alone. Don't worry, I'll stay. That's good, that's good. Mr. and Mrs. Qiao stayed in the ward for a while before returning to the headquarters. Lu Yin was alone in the ward with Xiao Fei. His silver hair that was whiter than snow had lost its former luster at this moment. His originally pale face was even paler. He wore an oxygen mask on his face. Lu Yin had lived her life in bloodshed since she was a child, licking blood from knives. She rarely worried about anything, because she was used to a life where she could die at any moment. Xiao Fei had never confessed to her, but they all knew that the two families had an arranged marriage. When Mrs. Qiao was pregnant with Xiao Fei, she was very close to Lu Yin's mother. Xiao Fei was a little older than Lu Yin, so the two families joked about marriage. But who knew that Lu Yin had been avoiding Xiao Fei? She never mentioned marriage, and Xiao Fei didn't talk much either. But every time Lu Yin was in danger, he would be the first one to step forward, The reason he had a grudge with Ian was because of Lu Yin. Ian was the world's top terrorist. He was also bisexual, a murderous psychopath to the extreme. For some reason, he was obsessed with Lu Yin and wanted to capture her alive. He had always wanted to capture Professor Lu and use him to develop the world's most advanced biochemical weapons. Unfortunately, he never had the chance. Lu Yin and Ian were playing a game of cat and mouse. Xiao Fei, on the other hand, was dragged into this mess because of Lu Yin. Xiao Fei's injury had nothing to do with Lu Yin, so she felt very guilty. Winter in Russia was especially long. When it was summer in other places, it might still be covered in snow here. Lu Yin was wearing a simple white blouse and a short black skirt, revealing her sexy thighs. She walked around the room with her arms crossed. He felt extremely uneasy. She looked around, but there was no one around. She carefully walked to the bed. Hey, Psycho Xiao, don't play dead. Wake up. I haven't had enough fun with you yet. I still want to see who's faster with a knife, who's more accurate with a gun, and who's better at fighting. After she finished speaking, she looked at Xiao Fei's face. There was no reaction. She bit her lip and gently grabbed Xiao Fei's hand. Chapter 1742. His hands were cold and not warm at all. Lu Yin was a little nervous. This was the first time she had such intimate skin contact with Xiao Fei. Lu Yin was suddenly very scared. She was really scared. If Xiao Fei never woke up, what would she do? So, she held Xiao Fei's hand without caring about her image. She carefully placed it on her cheek to warm him up. Xiao Fei, wake up quickly. From now on, I won't hide from you or make you angry anymore. When you're better, we'll go find that psycho Ian and fight to the death. We'll beat him until his grandma doesn't recognize him. At this moment, Lu Yan's watch beeped. She put down Xiao Fei's hand and stood up. I'm Lu Yan. What is it? Boss. There's a big order in Spain for 200 million yuan. Do you want to take it? Take your ass. I don't have time right now. No. I won't take any orders for the time being. Okay. What else? I bought the gift for your nieces. I've already bought it. Do you want me to give it to them now? Or wait? Wait my ass. If not now, when will you give it to them? Do you want to wait until my twin nieces get married? I got it, boss. Is there anything else? If not, I'm hanging up. Before her subordinate could say anything, Lu Yin hung up. She had a terrible temper and was extremely irritable. Perhaps it was because she spent every day fighting and killing. And the thing she came into contact with the most was either guns or explosives. That was why she had no patience. Even her old man didn't talk to her about family matters, because he was afraid that the father and daughter would quarrel. She was different from her sister. Ever since Lu Yin found out about her sister, she had been silently paying attention to her. She wanted to look for her many times, but she was worried that she would drag her sister into this, so she held back. In Lu Yan's heart, Huo Min was a very calm person who rarely lost control and became irritable. She was completely different from her. She longed for a sister like her. She longed for her sister to love her. At the Su family mansion, ever since Huo Min gave birth to the two babies, her life had changed drastically. Because she didn't have much milk, she fed them powdered milk. However, she found that the little ones had a lot to do every day. One moment, he peed. The next moment, he pooped. And the next moment, he was in a bad mood and cried. Then, he would ask Huo Mian to hug him like a spoiled child. Huo Mian was exhausted and sleep-deprived. Fortunately, there were many nannies in the Su family, and Lady Su and her mother were by her side. Otherwise, Huo Min would have nowhere to turn for help. Huo Xiqian suddenly had a conscience. For some unknown reason, he found someone to replace Song Yisher in her death. The police and the court also announced on the media that Huo Min and Qin Shu had been cleared of wrongdoing and that the real culprit had been apprehended. Now that the murder case was closed, she was finally relieved. No one continued to hold on to this matter and say that the Su family was harboring a murderer. Huo Min would be able to move around more freely. He would no longer be afraid to appear in public like before. She even wanted to find time to have a meal with everyone after the confinement to thank everyone for visiting the baby. On this day, Huamin was in a particularly good mood because of a visitor. Dr. Hua, look who's here to see you. Suyu came in and said with a smile. Huamin was sleeping leisurely with a baby in his arms. When he saw the person behind Suyu, he was a little excited. Why are you here? Huamin immediately handed the baby to his mother. Then, he went up to greet her warmly. Chapter 1743. Huamin hadn't seen President Wu in a long time, and he felt a sense of familiarity. It's been so long, and you're already a mother. President Wu was wearing a dark gray Chinese tunic suit, and his face was as serious as ever. However, when he looked at Huamin, his eyes were filled with a rare kindness. Please have a seat. I'll go make tea. Huamin was a little excited. Suyu held her arm. I'll go make tea. You stay here and chat with President Wu. Okay, sure. Huamin looked at Suyu gratefully. He went straight into the pantry in his suit and made tea without caring about his image. He poured tea and water, working hard without complaint. Huamin knew that Suyu was so gentle because of her. Come on, I haven't come to see you for so long. Not because you're a murderer. I have to avoid suspicion. It's because you're in a bad mood. I don't think it's useful to say more. You're a smart person, and you have to figure out many things on your own. Now that the clouds have parted, it's good to see the moon. I understand principle. If you're afraid of getting into trouble, you don't have to talk to me. But I heard from Chunjia that whenever you go to Southside for an inspection, you'll always ask about me. I'm very grateful. After you left Southside, there weren't any outstanding doctors in the neurology department. I wanted to find an opportunity to ask you, when are you going back to work? I'm afraid I can't go back now. The two kids make me dizzy every day, and I don't even have enough sleep. I understand. It's all mothers. All right, I bought this for the kids, and Xiaoxua bought this for the kids. President Wu took out 2 brocade boxes from his bag. One was a pair of golden longevity locks. The other was a pair of golden bracelets. It's good that you're here. You don't have to give me gifts. I'm so embarrassed. Huamin smiled. I know you don't lack money. These aren't expensive, they're just my kind intentions. Did Xiaoxua come back? Huamin asked. No, Xiaoxua's baby can already speak a lot. I plan to send him to kindergarten in a few months. The education there is very advanced. Then, Ning Ziyuan. How is he with Xiaoxua now? Ever since he went to America, he has changed his ways. He and Xiaoxua have retaken their medical license and opened a private clinic. It's pretty good. I went there once a while ago and saw them. He's much more mature than before. He's especially good to Warm Moon and knows how to be considerate to Xiaoxua. That's good, that's good. Huamin smiled. Huamin, it's been so long. You've already given birth to the child. In your heart, are you still unable to let go of Qin Shu? President Wu asked lovingly. Yeah, I've never let it go. Huamian nodded and confessed honestly. At this moment, Suyu walked out with a cup of tea. Hearing Huamin's answer, he was a little absent-minded for a moment. Although he clearly knew the answer, he still had that kind of feeling of loss and gain. Suyu put down the tea and smiled at Huamin. I'm going upstairs to see my princess. You guys talk. Okay. Huamin nodded. President Wu looked at Suyu's back meaningfully, as if he had something to say. Mian, if Qin Shu is really dead. Director, I believe he's still alive. Huamin stopped President Wu. Chapter 1744. She didn't want to hear President Wu say the same things he said to her mother, like, if Qin Shu can't come back, you should consider Suyu. First of all, Suyu wasn't a spare tire, so he couldn't give up his position just because Qin Shu came back. If Qin Shu couldn't come back, then it wouldn't be fair to Suyu. Second of all, she knew that she didn't love Suyu. They were together not because of love, but because of gratitude. She didn't think that the two of them would be happy together for the rest of their lives. Third of all, she believed that Qin Shu was still alive, definitely. Even if everyone said that he was dead, she believed that he was still alive, It was just that he couldn't come back for some reason. Sometimes, when Huamin was stubborn, it was as if he was possessed by the devil. Okay, it's good that you think that way. At least you have something to remember. I came today because I wanted to see you. I'm relieved that you're doing well. If you can let go of the kids in the future, and if you're bored, you're welcome to come back to work anytime. You can choose whether you want to work at Southside or the First Hospital. You can also choose the department you want. Thank you for your appreciation, Director. I'll think about it. Professor Luo called me the other day and recommended you. He said that with your talent. It's a shame that you don't want to be a doctor. He knows that you won't work in Jing City, so he kept urging me to persuade you to go back. But I know that you have your own ideas and plans, so I respect your choice. Thank you. Huamin was very touched by President Wu's words. After President Wu left, Huamin went upstairs to see the babies. She saw this scene filled with love. Suyu was wearing a white shirt with a wide-open collar. His collarbone was exposed. It was very well-shaped. He was lying on the white carpet. He was holding pudding in his left hand and little bean in his right. Rather than holding them, it was more like he was hugging them. He didn't use too much strength. He didn't want to scare the babies. The two little fellows, in his arms, became abnormally quiet. They even seemed to be smiling. Hey, Mom. Andy Yang. Look, aren't they smiling at me? Suyu was delighted. That seems to be the case. She's so young, yet she still has such an expression. She's so cute. Lady Su's heart was about to melt. Yang Mirong said with a smile, My two granddaughters are as smart as their mother. I remember when I gave birth to Mian. She was the same. It's only been 100 days, but she seems to understand a lot of things. There's something in her eyes. At that time, Jing even said, Look at this child. She's going to become a demon. Huamin stood at the doorway, silently watching the scene unfold before him. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that Suyu treated her babies as if they were his own. Ever since the baby was born, Huamin felt that he had almost lost his status. Whether it was her mother, Mrs. Su, Mr. Su, or Lord Su, they were all staring at the babies. They snatched to hold them and took turns to play with them. It was a happy and harmonious life. Suyu didn't need to be mentioned. He drove home as soon as he got off work and stayed until the babies fell asleep. Those who didn't know better would really think that they were his biological children. Huamin wasn't a cold-hearted person. She knew that Suyu was good to her. Her feelings for the babies also originated from the love for the house, the love for the crows. Young master, it's time to change the baby's diapers. The nanny walked over and reminded him softly. Only then did Suyu reluctantly take the two little guys off his body. Then he looked up and saw Huamin standing at the door. President Wu left? He asked. Huamin nodded. That's good. I have something to discuss with you. Suyu stood up and adjusted his collar. Okay, go ahead. Huamin and Suyu turned around and went to the study next door. Chapter 1745. Do you have any thoughts about the baby's 1-month-old celebration? Not yet. Isn't there still more than 10 days? Huamin was surprised. MHM, but it'll be there soon. Grandpa wants to celebrate. After all, you've been cleared of murder charges. Aren't you afraid of being high profile? I don't want too many people. Plus, you know that I don't really socialize. I only have a few close friends. I just want everyone to get together and have a meal. Okay, I'll listen to you. Suyu nodded. Suyu, I've actually thought about it. I want to move out after the babies are a month old. What? Suyu was surprised. Because my identity isn't sensitive anymore. I'm not a murderer anymore, so I'm not afraid of gossip. South Hill Manor is still empty, and I like it there. I want to go back. Aren't you afraid that Huasiqian will hurt you and the babies? After all, he's a scheming person. I'm not afraid. I can't always be afraid. I can't hide from him forever. I plan to face him head on. You've really thought it through? I've been here since I got pregnant. I've really troubled you guys. It's no trouble. My family likes you very much. When Suyu said this, his eyes were full of affection. I know, but I can't always live like this. It's really inconvenient. Before, I was afraid that the babies would be in danger because I was pregnant. Now that the babies are born and my mother is back, I should move out. So you didn't want Huamin to move out. However, he didn't want to make things difficult for her. So after a few seconds of silence, he looked up. Okay, I'll listen to you. Upon hearing Su Yu's words, Huamin smiled slightly. Then help me persuade Lord Su. I'm afraid they'll be upset. Okay, then let's hold the 1-month-old celebration here. Grandpa has been preparing for it for a long time. He even postponed some meetings so that the babies won't be a month old. Yes, we can go out and buy some things in the next few days and dress up a little every day. No, you're not out of confinement yet. Su Yu immediately refused. It's okay. I'll wear more so that I won't catch a cold. After speaking, Huamin smiled faintly. Su Yu couldn't resist Huamin's smile. No matter what she asked, even if he knew it was wrong. For some reason, he would also agree. After discussing with Huamin, Su Yu prepared to return to his villa to sleep. Huamin went downstairs and walked into the parking lot. It's dark and the roads are slippery. Drive slowly. Okay. Su Yu's heart felt warm. He felt that Huamin's tone was like a wife telling her husband something. Su Yu, You're not young anymore. If it's possible, find a girlfriend. Don't be single. After Huamin said this, Su Yu's heart sank. Do you want me to find one? Su Yu looked at Huamin with a lonely gaze. Do you want to hear the truth? Yes. Su Yu looked at Huamin. I really want you to find one. You're the only son of the Su family. Mother Su, Father Su, and Lord Su all want you to start a family soon and have grandchildren soon. You can't always live for yourself. Sometimes you have to think about your family. Thank you for your advice. I'll think about it. Su Yu was a little angry. He lowered his head and started the car. Before Huamin could say anything, the Lamborghini sped out into the night. Huamin knew that he was angry. Although some words sounded cold-blooded and cruel, Huamin had to say them. She couldn't let Su Yu stay in his dream forever. That would be cruel to him. Just then, Huamin's phone suddenly rang. She looked at it and saw that it was a string of random numbers. She couldn't find the source. After hesitating for a moment, Huamin picked up the phone. Hello? No one spoke on the other end, but Huamin could clearly hear the breathing on the other end, even though it was very weak. Hello? Who are you looking for? Huamin repeated. Chapter 1746. There was still no response from the other side. For some reason, Huamin suddenly had a strong feeling in her heart. Qin Shu, is that you? Huamin couldn't suppress her excitement. There was still no response from the other side. Huamin didn't even think about whether or not it was a pervert who called to harass her, or whether or not it was a child's prank, because she felt that the person on the other end of the phone wanted to hear her voice. Qin Shu, if it's you, can you say yes? Even if you can't come back now, at least let me know that you're still alive. Huamin's voice trembled slightly. 3 seconds later, the phone was hung up. There was a beeping sound. Huamin frantically picked up her phone and dialed the number on the screen. Sorry, the number you have dialed is not available. Please check it before dialing. Upon hearing this, Huamin's heart sank again. Why was it not available? Why was it not available? Wasn't that the number that called her just now? She was a little agitated and wanted to find someone to talk to, but she also felt that everyone must be hallucinating because she missed Qin Shu too much. But she knew that this wasn't a hallucination. Seattle, United States. Qin Shu hung up the phone. He let out a long sigh and got up slightly. He almost couldn't help but talk to Huamin just now. But so what if he said something? Everything wasn't over yet. His leg still needed to undergo one last surgery to repair it. He didn't know if it would be permanently disabled or if he would be lucky enough to recover. He didn't want people to look at his wife and daughters strangely when they walked on the street. He couldn't allow people to say, hey, your husband is a cripple. Hey, your dad is a cripple. This was something that the proud Qin Shu absolutely couldn't tolerate. In the night, Qin Shu held a precious photo in his hand. It was a photo of Huamin wearing a pink confinement suit and holding Pudding and Little Bean. She lowered her head and smiled gently. At that moment, it was as if the whole world could become beautiful because of her smile. Qin Shu clutched the photo tightly. His fingers trembled slightly. Mian, I'm sorry. A few days later, Suyu freed up a day to take Huamin out shopping. The two of them drove to the supermarket and bought a lot of decoration for the baby's 1-month-old celebration, such as balloons and Christmas trees. Although they were tired, the two of them were full of energy, especially Suyu, who would buy whatever he saw. Huamin was still the rational one. Otherwise, the two of them would have to spend on impulse again. When it was almost noon, Huamin looked at his watch. It's already 12 o'clock. You must be hungry. Let's go eat. Sure. What do you want to eat? Anything is fine as long as it fills my stomach. I really don't have any energy left. Huamin laughed. How about Korean barbecue? Sure, but you have to promise me one thing, Huamin said mysteriously. What? Suyu was confused. I have to pay, so I'll treat you, okay? Huamin winked at him and smiled. Sure. It's rare that Dr. Hoa is in the mood to treat me, so I have to give him face. After speaking, the two of them couldn't help but laugh. After they bought everything, the seller delivered it to their doorstep. Huamin and Suyu drove to a high-end Korean barbecue restaurant not far away. This restaurant was very crowded, and every time it was time to eat, they had to wait in line. The decoration was very good, and it was Korean tatami. Apparently, the beef was also very fresh, and people came in batches after batches because of its reputation. The two of them ate at least 1,000 yuan. However, there were still people waiting in line for such a high price. It was unbelievable looking at the crowd at the door. Huamin wanted to back out. There's so many people, let's go. When it's our turn, we'll starve to death. No, wait for me. After speaking, Suyu walked over and said to a waiter. Chapter 1747. Tell your manager to come out. Okay, sir. Please wait a moment. A minute later, the manager of the restaurant walked out. He was a chubby man in his 40s, wearing gold-rimmed glasses and had a smile on his face. Before Suyu could speak, he immediately walked over respectfully. Young Master Su, you're here. Why didn't you tell us in advance so we could prepare? It's okay. My friend and I were shopping nearby. It was a last-minute decision. Then please come in. Are there any seats left? I want a private room. Suyu said domineeringly. Yes. Even if no one else has a private room, we'll save a seat for you. Young Master Shun told us to. Then Huamin and Suyu followed the manager upstairs under the envious gazes of the people in the line. Shen Mingshi owns this restaurant. Huamin finally understood. Yeah, it's not owned by the Shun family. It's his own. I heard that Wei Ying likes Korean barbecue, so they used to fly to Seoul on weekends. Later, Shun Mingshi found it troublesome, so he opened his own restaurant. The chefs he hired are all from Korea. No wonder it's so delicious. Young Master Shun is really rich. Huamin didn't know much about Shun Qingshi. Every time he met him, it was because of Suyu. They met a few times. Shun Qingshi was cold and aloof, and Hui Yanyan loved him dearly. Later, he heard that he was with Wei Ying. The marriage between the Shun family and the Wei family caused a stir in the area. In other words, Shun Qingshi was Wei Liao's brother-in-law. They walked up and sat down in the quietest private room. Huamin ordered some vegetables and meat. Suyu ordered a bottle of sake. Why did you order wine? Who's drinking? Huamin was puzzled. I'm drinking. You want to drink and drive in broad daylight? Who said I'm drinking and driving? You can drive. Suyu laughed. Okay, you win. Huamin was so angry that he laughed. This was the first time she had come out to eat since she gave birth to the baby. Her mood was completely different. She felt like she was a little bird that had been locked in a cage for a long time and finally had a little bit of freedom. You haven't finished your confinement period yet. Are you really okay, Mom? So he was a little worried. It had been less than 30 days since he was born. There were still a few more days before his birthday. But Huamin had already started to run out. Was it really possible? When have you ever seen a Western woman go through confinement? Huamin asked. That's true. I don't think I've ever seen them in confinement. It's not that I'm tough. It's just that the cultural traditions are different. Actually, it's pedantic to not bathe or wash your hair during confinement. If anyone doesn't bathe or wash their hair in such a hot room, won't they stink for a month? She just needs to keep warm and not catch a cold. She's not so delicate that she can't go out and meet people. Okay, whatever you say is right. I won't argue with you. Suyu smiled as he looked at Huamin. Then he picked up a piece of barbecued meat and placed it on her plate. Suyu enjoyed eating quietly with Huamin like this. He felt especially happy. He sat across from her and chatted with her, put food on her plate, and poured water for her. Suyu had never felt so happy about something as simple as this before. When it was time to pay the bill, the manager was extremely polite. "Young Master Su, please don't make things difficult for us. Our young master already said that everything is on the house. Okay, thank your young master for me. When he comes back from his business trip, I'll buy him a drink." Okay. When Suyu and Huamin finished eating and walked out, they bumped into Hua Xiqian. Chapter 1748. Beside him was a young girl who looked quite cute. The lady was dressed in a socialite suit. It was pink and looked very delicate. Her hair was neatly trimmed and she had big eyes. I was wondering why my left eyelid kept twitching today. It turns out there's good news. Little sister Mion, you came out before your confinement. You're so naughty. Seeing Huamin's figure from afar, Hua Xiqian's mood improved greatly. The moment he saw Huamin's face up close, Hua Xiqian's eyes were filled with endless gentleness. It was already very cold in the north in November. The two little princesses were born on October 23rd. They were standard little scorpions. They were almost full term, which meant that it was the end of November. The people walking on the streets were all wearing cashmere coats and leather jackets. Some old people who were afraid of the cold had already changed into cotton-padded jackets when they woke up early. Huamin wore a long white fishtail dress with a flouncy collar and cuffs. She was dressed in pearls. She was very noble and elegant, wearing a thin, short black jacket. Black and white matched, simple and elegant. Hua Xiqian hadn't seen Huamin's face in a long time, and he really missed her. So, regardless of where they were, they greeted each other as soon as they saw each other. Huamin stared at Hua Xiqian impolitely and didn't say anything. She only glanced at him coldly. Yin Ruoshi, who was beside Hua Xiqian, looked at Huamin and then at Hua Xiqian curiously. "Hua Xiqian, are they your friends?" "Sorry, we're not close," Huamin denied directly, and then walked forward with Suyu. Hua Xiqian reached out and grabbed Huamin's sleeve. "Mion, after not seeing you for so long, you won't even give me a luxurious smile?" Huamin was furious. If there weren't so many people around, she would have slapped him. "Let her go." Suyu immediately walked over and shook off Hua Xiqian's hand. "Do you remember I warned you not to touch him again? Otherwise, I'll kill you." Suyu glared fiercely at Hua Xiqian. The murderous intent in his eyes seemed to be able to cut Hua Xiqian into 1,000 pieces. I'm just kidding. President Su, why are you in such a hurry? Who the fuck is joking with you? Scram. After Suyu scolded Hua Xiqian, he ignored the gazes of others and held Hua Min's hand tightly. The two left the restaurant. Hua Xiqian turned around, and his gaze fell on Suyu and Hua Min's tightly clasped hands. His gaze was deep. "Your friend is so fierce, he can't even take a joke?" Yin Ruoshi thought that Suyu and Huamin were being immature. She thought that Hua Xiqian was a good person. Mayor Yin was transferred here from another city, so his daughter was new to the city. She didn't know who Suyu and Huamin were. Therefore, she didn't understand what was going on at all. "Are you okay?" Suyu comforted Huamin as they walked out of the restaurant. Huamin subtly withdrew her hand, and her expression gradually calmed down. "I'm fine. When I saw him, I thought of too many things and couldn't control myself." "I know." Suyu looked at her with heartache. "Let's go home." "Okay." After speaking, Huamin opened the car door and sat in the driver's seat. "Can you still drive?" Suyu asked with a smile when he saw how angry Huamin was. "I can't let you drink and drive." Huamin also smiled slightly. Then, Huamin drove Suyu back to the Su family's Lamborghini, in a private room upstairs of a Korean barbecue restaurant. "Hua Xiqian, who was that girl just now? Why do I feel like you're treating her so well?" Yin Ruoshi asked nosily, Upon hearing her question, Huasiqian paused in the middle of wiping his hands slightly. Chapter 1749. She's my little sister. Oh, so she's your little sister? Yin Ruashi was delighted to hear this. Huomin didn't deny it, but he didn't admit it either. He just smiled faintly. But why do I feel like you two don't look alike at all? Which family is she from? Are you related by blood? Yin Ruashi's questions came one after another, overwhelming him. Huasiqian elegantly picked up the menu and asked her, "Do you like beef or steak?" Yin Ruashi froze. They weren't even on the same frequency. Beef is fine. Steak is too tough. My teeth aren't that good. I can't bite through it. Okay. Huasiqian nodded and called the waiter over. 2 roast beef sets, 1 fruit salad with blueberry jam, 1 coconut milk sago. Okay, President Hua, please wait a moment. Yin Ruashi asked with admiration. Wow, how did you know I like fruit salad with blueberry jam and coconut milk sago? I saw you eat a lot last time we had dinner. Huasiqian said nonchalantly. Huh, you're such a careful person. Even my dad couldn't tell. No wonder you're so young and successful. Huasiqian's lips curled into a smile when he heard her praise and admiration. He didn't say anything. You have so many actresses under your company. They're all so beautiful. Don't you have a girlfriend? No. Why not? Because there's someone I like. She's always been in my heart. Oh, I know. It must be your late wife. You're so affectionate. She's such a lucky woman. You still remember her even after she died. Yin Ruashi sighed softly. Huasiqian didn't deny or answer because he didn't need to say too much to this little girl. He was only eating with her because he wanted to give Mayor Yin face. Then, are you willing to find another girlfriend in the future? Huasiqian didn't answer. Instead, he raised his head and glanced at her. Yin Ruashi immediately blushed. What I mean is, if you meet a woman who likes you and pursues you in the future, will you say yes? I don't think so, Huasiqian replied calmly. Oh, Yin Ruashi was a little disappointed. I saw in an entertainment magazine that you dated Mo Schwer before. Is that true? His daughter was indeed curious about everything. She even wanted to gossip about such things. Huasiqian thought for a moment before replying calmly. We haven't dated. We've only slept together. Ahem. You slept with him, so it's just a sexual relationship? Yin Ruashi blurted out. You could say that, Huasiqian said casually. He didn't want to curry favor with a new mayor like he did with Song Qinghua. Therefore, he didn't need to pretend in front of the mayor's daughter. Therefore, he answered Yin Ruashi's questions very casually. Ahem, that's understandable. After all, we're all adults, not monks or nuns. It's normal for us to have some sex life. Yin Ruashi said awkwardly. Huasiqian didn't say anything. He held his phone and scrolled through the stock market. However, he kept thinking about the moment he saw Huomin at the door. She really changed after giving birth. She no longer had the naivety of a little girl. She became more mature and calm. She also had a faint maternal aura between her brows. This made Huasiqian love her even more. His desire to have Huomin became even stronger. When Huomin and Suyu returned, Lord Su was walking around the living room with a doll in his arms, playing with it. Suyu walked up and snatched it away. What are you doing? Old man, let me hold it for a while. Suyu announced domineeringly. Then let's make a bet. Do you think this is pudding or bean? Lord Su suddenly asked his grandson with interest. They're very popular. The sales are very good. So there's a celebration party tomorrow night? Yeah, I think so. I rarely go to company events, Suyu said as he ate. Then, can you take me there tomorrow night? Huomin tilted his head and looked at Suyu. Chapter 1751. When Huomin offered to go with him, he felt different. Suyu couldn't hide his joy. However, He pretended to be calm on the surface. Okay, let's go together. Okay, I'll drive over tomorrow night. No need, I'll pick you up. The elders listened to the conversation between Suyu and Huamin, but didn't interrupt after dinner. Suyu went upstairs to play with the babies and then drove away. Ever since Huamin moved in, he had strictly adhered to his mother's promise. He never spent the night at home to avoid being caught red-handed. After Suyu left, Huamin went upstairs to take a shower and change his clothes. Mrs. Su, Mr. Su, and Lord Su were drinking tea in the living room downstairs. Actually, you and Mion are really a good match. Old Master Su was the first to bring up this topic. Dad, why do you say that too? Mr. Su glanced at the old man. It's not that I'm biased toward my grandson, but the point is, I've never seen him fall in love with a woman all these years. When he was in the army, many young and beautiful female soldiers tried to get close to him, and he was so annoyed that he wanted to run away whenever he saw a woman. After he was demobilized, he came back to start a company, and there were endless scandals. We never interfered with him because he always knew his limits and never caused trouble. But this time is really different. From the moment he pointed a gun at his head and forced me to save her, I knew it was over. He's serious this time. He's even willing to sacrifice his life. Mr. Su and Mrs. Su were silent as they listened to the old man speak. At first, I had a deep prejudice against Mion. I always thought that she was a femme fatale. A woman who could make a man so infatuated with her must be a vixen. I think the two of you might have thought the same way. Mr. Su coughed lightly, a little embarrassed. Mrs. Su was also a little embarrassed. The old man was right. In the beginning, the Su family had a deep prejudice against Huamin. It wasn't until Mion moved in and we got to know each other that I realized that you liked her personality and charm. It has nothing to do with her looks or her figure, and it has nothing to do with her future. It's pure love. Mion has lived up to our expectations and has been doing a great job. She's honest and appreciative. Logically speaking, we shouldn't have tried to steal her away before she got a divorce. But since Mion's lover isn't coming back, why can't we give you a chance? Dad, it's not that simple. You might not know this, but Mion and you're a couple. You likes her, but we can't do anything if Mion doesn't agree. We can't use our love for her to pressure her. I don't have the heart to do that, Mrs. Su said slowly. Dad, it's not good for us elders to step in, right? Mr. Su frowned slightly. What's not good about it? I think it's a good idea. When I have the chance, I'll talk to Mion. I'm sure she'll think about it. The problem is, based on the current situation, my grandson won't find another woman. His heart is all about Mion. If this continues, our Su family will have no descendants. Dad, I think we shouldn't talk about it. If Mion agrees, everyone will be happy. But if she rejects, it'll be so awkward in the future. How can we let her stay in the Su family? Lady Su didn't agree with the old man. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.